What is going on, Shedheads? Welcome back. It is Friday, and we got a special guest joining us tonight. A good friend of mine I've had the pleasure of hanging out with at a few vape events when those were a thing. RIP. For real, I miss those days. Good times, because you get opportunities to meet cool people that make some pretty cool stuff, like Mr. Matt Bennett from Bennett Tool Customs hanging out with us tonight. Pleasure having you on the show, dude. It's been long awaited. We've been meaning to do this for some time, but for some reason it just hasn't happened till today. But
a few years.
Yeah, but hey, we're here, and I'm glad it's happening now, and probably going to happen more in the future. So with that being said, we're going to start the show off
on this shit.
Oh no.
This is for my wife, and I was putting my juice on it.
Well, wifey, looks like you're vaping something different.
I didn't put that much on there. Maybe I could get away with it without recottoning it.
We'll see what happens. The world may never know.
I don't think peanut butter and watermelon lime.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be yeah. No. Yeah, that's gonna be definitely
most definitely not.
I don't think I'll be that big of a jerk to her. Hey, that might spark the divorce.
Right. Hey man, it could be the straw, that breaks the camel's back, as they say. But with that being said, guys, we'll start the show off as we normally do, talking about maybe what vape setups we got in front of us today. I know I got a couple. I'm sure the fellas got a couple here as well. So let's start off with one of you guys, and start off with Chris. What do you got in front of you tonight, man?
All right. Excuse me. Keeping it simple, super simple tonight, but also just dope as fuck. So I guess there's that. It's funny too, because we were talking like before the show started, and it was basically discussed about how like vape styles have changed. Well, honestly, like I've tried those, and like I can get by on them, but I still like that RDA mech build, like on a tube mech. So with that, I got the good old Danessa, and on top I got the goat baby. I got the layer goat.
I don't know about that, but
definitely dude, I got the layer cake RDA, and I got just
I will say though, top. That is a pretty looking setup, dude. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you at all.
Dude, very clean. It's tight. It's tight. I got some semi nitro 28 gauge coils inside actually, and the liquid I got is some of mine.
Dude, talk about it, peanut butter. You need to check. Bro. You need to check that shit out, Matt.
How hard is that to get that into the U.S.?
It's not that
placing
hard.
an order on his website, bro.
Oh, you got a website, or am I just hitting you up willy nilly at the end of this?
You can hit me up willy nilly at the end of this.
Okay, all right, because peanut butter has become one of my favorites,
dude. And let me tell you, that sir has been probably the best peanut butter I've ever tried.
I will say Elysian Labs, their PB Nilla is the one that started me off on the peanut butter kick. And that was in like 2018. I'm friends with the owners, and they were at a show right next. They were actually sponsoring the Modders Gallery. And so tonight I'm not vaping on that, but I am vaping on another peanut butter. I got one of my billet boxes. I have my Scottua here, a little bit heavy. Like I was saying, I got gout going on in my right hand. I'm right-handed, so I wanted something a little bit lighter. So I got my billet box with the new slants that I'm making.
Those are pretty sick, dude.
With one of my drip tips, the little minnow drip tip that I make. Inside, I'm rocking the bridged V2. It's my all day, every day. Like I've tried a bunch of different rebuildables in there, but it's my all day, every day is the bridged V2 by Wicked. Rocking the Skipper Milk Pie by Primitive Vape.
Oh, yeah, that's just
it's one of my favorites.
Literally my all-time favorite liquid.
I'm not gonna say all-time favorite, but it is up there with my peanut butter flavors. Like it is like it's right there with PB Nilla, But yeah, that's what I'm rocking today. It's pretty much what I rock every day. I'm pretty simple, dude. I just like to keep it what it is.
Hell yeah, dude.
If it works, it works. I'm happy with it. Like I am super happy with the Scottua mod. It's a little bit heavier than most, but Scott's one of my best friends. Got that relationship been going on for 6 years.
Hell yeah, dude.
So
So you just rocking the billet, Chris? Were you just rocking the Danessa, or do you have another one going?
No, dude, is it?
Oh, single setup tonight. I like it.
Oh,
Sean.
I'm a single setup guy, dude. Like I don't have like 15 boros set up with like 15. I just take the boro out, put it in. I got 10 other mods inside that I could use, but I'm like, yeah, that's what I like.
Hey man, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
That's how I kind of look at it, dude. Yeah.
What do you got, Sean?
Well, speaking of the mech life, got a clutch. Still rocking that Squy that I just narrowly escaped with a win on.
Squeaked it.
Whoo! But still rocking that jammy. Switched it up through some of that Turkish Harvest, courtesy of the homie Mr. Janklin. Appreciate you, because
I got you, bro.
M-Turk is one of my favorite liquids, man. I haven't had it in a long ass time.
the apple butterscotch. Like I've been on an apple kick right now, so like I was just vaping a lot of the apple remix from Vinyl and Vapor, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna switch it up but stay apple. So I threw that in, but also got the Pulse because definitely still enjoying this Boro vape, and that's loaded still with the guava because
what'll change your life on the Pulse though is panels with the airflow. Changes the way that mod works.
Oh, 100%.
Completely.
Because I was literally just thinking about that earlier. I'm like, one of the things that kind of makes me crazy is that you get a little bit of condensation buildup on the inside of this panel when you vaping it a whole bunch. You like vaping it.
When you get a door that doesn't have, I should have sent you some with those.
But honestly, that's on like any of those setups are like that. Like a lot of those. It's
absolutely
part of the Boro. It's part of the Boro world. What I've accustomed myself to over the last couple of years of using Boro devices is after I let go of the button, just keep hitting. And so it kind of takes some of that condensation away, and it helps. I mean,
I was noticing that myself.
Like this, to where like really like there's nothing to have condensation on.
Yeah, when I saw you drop the slants, I was like, ooh, I like that. That's a cool idea. That definitely opens the airflow a whole bunch.
Oh, yeah, it's unrestricted completely.
Hell yeah, dude. Was that all for you, Sean? Is that all you got?
That's me, man. So what's up with you?
I'm actually kind of rocking like best of both worlds too. I rocking that an RDA 2, the new one from Mr. Coil Turd on top of my white Mando Ranger, as I like to call it. A little collaboration with Palmer's Powders, custom powder coated, 1 of 1, baby. From my mind and his hands to completion, dude. It was crazy. I still think about like how this coating came to be, because I literally took a picture of a black Mando, put it in my paint shop program on my computer, and did the jankiest like color in over it and sent it to him, and I was like, I want it to look like this. And dude, he did exactly what I envisioned in my brain, but man, it looks so much better.
Now Palmer's Powders, he's over in UK.
He's in Idaho. Good old Idaho.
Okay.
Yeah, dude. Hit him up if you guys are looking for some amazing powder coating stuff.
I want to say I think he hit me up about the slants.
Dude, he's a good dude, man. He does some crazy shit.
The things he could do to the slants.
Dude,
oh,
that would be nuts.
Insane. Actually,
I've got some like they're already at the Cerakote, like my Cerakoter, like they're already at the Cerakoter, because I do custom gun work for a couple companies, and they do Cerakoting, so I'm not doing anything crazy with them because I mean there's not much there.
Oh, believe me,
I know you
can. Piece that he could go crazy.
That kid does stuff with powder that probably isn't really even supposed to be possible. It's crazy.
I agree.
But
I agree. He's doing powder and lace now. Stop it.
He took that from his brother, bro, because his brother's
Savage.
like a pinstriper, like automotive sprayer and stuff.
Dude.
Yeah, like
so
I've
he took
seen
some tricks of the trade from that and took it
yeah.
over to powder, bro, and he's changing the game.
Yeah, powder coating's way different than Cerakoting.
Oh yeah,
powder coating is they have it's a whole different setup.
Yeah,
like it's
totally
like
different
the gun's
science,
completely
bro.
different. Yeah, I don't know if it lays thicker than Cerakoting or not, because that's one thing that has to be
very
like
it's
watched.
dependent on like what you're trying to do. Like if you're trying to get like crazy candies and stuff, most of the time you're gonna have like multiple coats, which is gonna be thicker. If you're just doing a single coat on something, it's usually not gonna be as thick as a Cerakote.
Even certain colors themselves lay thicker. Like white lays the thickest in Cerakoting. The rest of them all lay pretty, and you're talking like microns. These things lay.
Yeah,
they're not laying like thousandths of an inch. But I still have to machine the stuff in a way to account for that. Just to make sure that
I know
it doesn't.
That he does like inlays. He'll do inlays like not even just on mods where it's deeper, like on RDAs even.
Yeah.
He'll do like inlays on the engravings. So like obviously powder coating can get laid in there pretty good. Like it's not like a real thick layer.
Well, the thing about powder coating too is you can lay the powder coating on there and then you can wipe some stuff off, because until it actually goes in and it's like electrically charged, it's not set yet. Like Cerakote's like paint, but it's a little bit different. It's more durable. So that's why I didn't have the people like lined up. I had to fire my anodizer last year because they just totally screwed me over, or tried to. But I mean, that's part of business, dude. You've been in business for so long. I mean, I've been in the vape shit since 2014. You know, that's when I first started making top caps or chuff caps back then. You know, started making that stuff back in 2014, did business with quite a few companies. And then, you know, you go through the rigmarole of getting screwed over. You think you're lacing yourself up with the right company to do business with, and then you wind up finding out that they're just shady pieces of shit. Excuse my language, because I'm just gonna tell it how it is.
Nah, dude, you're just calling.
I'm not,
bro.
I'm not gonna name names. I'm just not gonna put names out there. But like, I've done business with some pretty fucked up, shady people in this industry, and it really turned like the end of 2015. I was a pretty salty person on this industry. Like, I didn't want nothing.
There was a lot of people that were, because there's a lot of people doing dirty shit back then. But I feel like a lot of them have got weeded out. There's still a few, you know. Still feel a few weeds in the grass, but you know, a lot less than there used to be, I feel. But,
100%. I 1000% agree with that.
Back to the setup though. I didn't even finish. I got the Twisted Timmy's. Shout outs to him, because I got to give him a shout out, because I just put in a nice coil order with him. Got a nice little sample pack. I was like, all right, bro, I'm looking for some Met coils and some Boro coils. What do you got? I want a sampler. Hook me up. And he's like, bro, I got you. Try this, and that. And I'm going to hook you up with this, and that. It'll be out in the mail. Nice. Sent him some money. We're good to go. I'm pretty stoked about it. Because I got to say, these Lucky 7s that he's got, they're 2.5 millimeter. Totally rocking in this RDA 2 from Coil Turd. Got some mango from Homeboy, my all day. You guys know I go through bottle after bottle after bottle of this shit, just because I love it so much. And of course, since Matt's on the show, I had to rock something with some of his handiwork. So I busted out my green Pulse AIO with a little collaboration between not only Matt, but also a good friend of ours, Mr. Foot Clan Dan, aka Chasing Resin, because he poured the blocks for these, and then Matt did his beautiful work. Got the nice matching button to the panels here. Just love the color combo with the matching minnow integrated tip. That you guys know me, I like my chop tops, my shorter, lower profile drip tips, but this thing right here, man, is just so comfy. It's kind of changing my opinion, but I mainly like it just like on this setup, because it just adds that little bit of extra resin to like kind of help match whatever panel action you got going on. And dude, I don't know about you guys, but that's one sexy setup, man. I don't care what anybody says. I know it's mine, but if I seen anybody out there in the world rocking this, I'd be like, how much can I have that for?
Taking $100 setups and making them, you know, look like $1,000 setups.
For real, dude. If you didn't know, like, if I didn't tell you that this was a Pulse and you just kind of looked at it from far away, you'd think this was a very pricey mod.
Yeah, 100%.
100%. And dude, fuck, I love it, dude. I love it. And dude, I got to just give you some credit.
Now,
bro.
what do you rock build wise in your Pulse?
Right now, I've got this is actually, I was rocking this in a mech, because right now I have the Psych in here with a 0.24, because I was rocking it in a mech Boro.
Okay, that makes sense.
I just swapped it over because I wanted to rock this, and I didn't have anything freshly built except for this. So I was like, oh, well, I'll just pop that in here. bump up the wattage.
I'm usually like a 0.32 to 0.35.
Yeah, I usually about like 0.35 to 0.4 is like my sweet spot normally. Is what I've been finding.
Yeah, I've been sitting at a 0.34
dude, with that little bit of extra
Yeah.
airflow you get right there on the door, like he was saying, dude, it just adds that. And the cool thing I like about it too is like if you don't necessarily want as much, you can just kind of cover up
Cover
one
it
or
with
two.
your thumb a little bit.
Yeah, cover up one or two of those, and you can. It's almost like a airflow control. You know what I mean? Just with your thumb.
It's a
manual
airflow.
Yeah, manual, because you can even do it from the
control.
front and the side at the same time if you wanted to. You know what I mean? Depending on whatever you like. But anyway, really digging this. This has got the Psych in there, like I said, from Cyclone Mods. I gotta say, I'm definitely enjoying this over the Kirch. I think this one's just giving me a little bit better flavor, a little bit better airflow.
I'm not even gonna respond to that.
But it's not bad, man. I've been enjoying it so far. I kind of think it's pretty good for like a mech situation with this lower build. Flavor's not too shabby. Got some Marketplace. Which one was it? Blood
Marketplace.
Tango Bear.
Dude, that Blood Orange Tango Berry. Dude, and I'm not a big fruit guy, but dude, the Marketplace juice line is fire,
all of them,
dude.
All of them. I've been
absolute fire. Like I got them. I had them coming because that's down in Arizona. Brain farting on his name right now. Kyle Adolph. He's the mastermind behind that e-liquid. And when I was in Houston last year, he set me up with stuff for my wife and a couple for me, and I brought them home, and we were getting them for like 6-7 months.
I got them at that same show, dude. When we were out in Houston, I was like, all right, I need a bottle of that bottle. I literally grabbed one of each one and fell in love with them.
The blueberry lemonade, like the blueberry lemonade one. Oh, just
dude, I like the pink one. The pink
punch berry. Yeah, the pink punch berry's fire, dude.
But anyways,
and like again, I'm not a big fruit guy, but those were just, oh my god, they're amazing, dude.
I've said it time and time again. The Marketplace line, if you're looking for fruits, that's the line to go for. But
they're just good people to do business with.
100%. But with that, Sean, it's time to let people know what's new in the shed.
Well, as always, the shed's all over the place, and we talk about everything from etiquette and popcorn to sound at venues. We talk about being a good person and hitting flow state. Yo, I kid you not, we are everywhere. And of course, obligatory food talk, because
it's not a Shed Time podcast if you're not talking about food.
we got to talk about the munchies.
That's very true.
So guys, new episodes every Monday, and if you're over there on the Patreon, you get an early access to the video as well. You're the only ones who get the video if you're a Patreon member, as well as a whole bunch of other really cool perks. So if you're interested, you can find the website, and you can find the show anywhere on all streaming platforms. It's Shed Time Podcast. Google it, and it's everywhere you want to be. And that's what's new in the shed.
Hell yeah. So, of course, we've already got a little bit of an introduction to Mr. Matt Bennett here. Funny story. Like, I got to tell this story about, like, how me and Matt, like, actually got to know each other, because it was kind of random.
It had to be at a show.
It was 100% at a show. I think it was either the first or second show I had gone to. It was an ECC event. And we're all just hanging out outside, the hotel, vaping, that's where there was like...
Oh, you're talking about 2000? No, it was 2019?
It was either 18 or 19, because it was Evan was with you.
Well, Evan's always with me, but it was if you're talking about the one where the picture came from, that's definitely
it had to be that. I think it had to be that night, because that's the first night me and you like really got to hang out and just like shoot the shit. But we're all standing outside the hotel, just vaping, shooting the shit. There's like a couple of different groups of vape people out there, and then Matt just starts walking inside, and he looks at me and he's like, "Hey man, you want a drink? Come on." Hadn't really even met the guy yet, and he just like grabs me up, and we just walk in, sit down at the bar, grab a drink, just start shooting the shit, bro, and just just having a good old time, dude. Just talking about the industry, talking about the show, just whatever, dude. And we just sat there and fucking, I don't remember how long we sat there for, but it was at least
we closed the bar.
Yeah, we just sat there just bullshitted,
but I mean,
dude.
that was always the thing about that ECC show when it was on Ontario, was that everybody stayed at that hotel. And it was known that after the show, you took over that bar.
Dude.
The entire vape.
I totally
world was
forgot
in
a
that
step,
bar.
bro. Because honestly, initially what happened is we're all standing outside vaping, and shout outs to Evan, because he walks up to me and he's like, hey man, you know, you want to, our code word here is shed time. He's like, you want to, you know, shed time a little?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, dude. So, you know, we go take a little hit, and then we come back, and then you're like, let's go get some drinks. So that's how it started. Shed time starts great friendships, guys.
I was already like probably 10 drinks deep.
But dude, it was all I know. It was a good time getting to hang out, shoot the shit, and actually getting to meet you and chat with you. And then every time at any show after that, anytime I would see Matt, it was just like, you know, good old buddies. Just shooting the shit again.
Dude.
And then actually you hit me up not too long ago during the Boro Bowl, and I came down and hung out with you and old Foot Clan Dan. And I think that was around that, like right before these ended up showing up at my house. And I was like, fuck yeah, dudes. Like,
I actually, funny thing about those panels was I was supposed to have them at the Boro Bowl. I lost the block.
oh no.
No. I lost the block. So Dan brought me another block. Right. And I'm like, why did I lose it? There's no fucking way I lost this block, dude. Like, I'm looking all over my shop, dude. And like, Dan sent me the new block and everything. And I was like, made the panels, shipped them out, did everything, got all my other work done, shipped it out. Dude, like 2 months later, I moved my suitcase in my shop that had like all the stuff in it and everything. And I picked it up and the block was sitting under the suitcase.
Oh, dude, what a surprise, though.
The whole fucking time. And I called Dan like right then. I FaceTimed him and I was like, hey, check it out. He's like, bro, you haven't cut that block yet? I was like, what are you talking about? I just found this one. He's like, bro, that's the one you lost like 3 months ago. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, where was it? I was like, sitting on the chair under my suitcase the whole time.
Shout outs to Dan. He's in the chat right now. If you guys are looking for some, you know, custom resin stuff, hit up my
definitely, man.
Because
sure,
he will hook you up with some. I'm starting to call him the Glow Father. Because, dude, if you want some, because little did you guys know, these glow.
Yep.
If I put put some UV on these bad boys, they look bad fucking ass, dude. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah, dude. Dan, I've had a relationship with Dan for a few years. That show, that 2019 show, which was the last ECC they did, that was actually the show I actually got to meet Dan. Him and his wife drove over from, I think he's in Riverside, something like that. I can't exactly remember.
I think he's down in LA now. I think he's in the Valley.
No, he's in the Valley. It's the same place. He was in the same place, but like it was a drive, you know, like it wasn't like it was like a 20-minute drive. Like it was a couple hour drive. And then you add LA traffic onto it. It could be like, you know, an entire day. But they can't, like, I honestly went to that show solely just to get drunk with Tony B.
Dude,
like,
and
legit.
let me tell you what.
Like he'd be fun to get drunk with.
Tony B is a fucking party, bro.
Oh, dude, neither of us were going to go to the show because, like, I didn't have a booth. Like, I was like, I'm not going to waste my time going down there. It's going to be all disposable shit. Like, I'm not going to go. And Tony hits me up the week before and he goes, hey, he's like, I got this company that's flying me out to the show. You still going to come down? He was like, get with Evan and drive down there. I'm like, I hit up Evan. I was like, bro, we're going to LA. And he was like, but you don't have a booth. I was like, I don't give a fuck. We're going to kick it with Tony. He was like, oh, down. Let's go.
Dude, last time we were at the show, we were just hanging out in our room, just chilling. And all of a sudden we hear a knock on the door, open the door. And guess who the fuck it was? Tony B, because his room was directly across from us and you could hear us in there. And he's like, I just heard a party. He just like came in and hung out with us, had some brews, kicked back, told us some stories. Tony B is probably one of the coolest people you guys will ever meet if you get the opportunity to meet him. Cool dude.
I agree. I got an opportunity to kick it with him at one of the last NVEs in Connecticut. And that would have been 2019.
Yeah,
and we just sat there chopping it up about like video editing and like technical stuff, because like he's literally one of the nicest, smartest people. Like he knows so much about so much.
Well, it's not even that. He's genuine, bro.
Yeah.
I've heard people say stuff about him, like they don't like him, they don't this. They think he thinks he's up on himself and this, that, and the other. And I'm like,
Not
you really
even.
haven't sat and talked.
You never talked to the dude then.
Because I met him, my friend, my best friend, Jen Eldridge, she introduced him to me at the 2018 NVE show. And that wasn't at Mohegan's Sun. That was at the other one.
Foxwoods.
That was one where
Foxwoods.
That was at the Foxwood one. And she dragged him in, and I had no clue who the fuck he was, bro. Like, I knew the polls. I thought it was the biggest piece of shit that it was ever put on the market just because the button was just garbage, right? And I told him that straight to his face. He's like, oh, yeah, I didn't want that button on there, dude. He's like, I said the same shit, and I was like, my friend sold him. And so I come back. He bought one of my very first squonks I made, my mech squonks I made. He bought I had it all, what is the material? All Ultim one, right? And it was vapor polished. It was crystal clear, see through everything. He bought it. And it was like a week after the show, maybe 2 weeks after the show, he hit me up. Like, he called me. And I was like, oh shit, what the fuck? Like, and dude, we were on the phone for like 3-4 hours, dude, just chopping it up, getting to know each other. And then from then we'd talk like once a month. And then, hey, you going to this show? I'll see you at the show. Like, and then we just kick it at the show. Like, he's always walking around doing his thing. I'm usually at the show. I got my booth. So I'm still having a good time, got my drinks going and everything. But like, he'd always walk up to the show with a drink. Hey, Matt, you got a drink in your hand? I'm like, no. He's like, you do now. And he just like put a drink in my hand. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like, this is how we doing this, Like, I kicked it in Vegas with them. I kicked it obviously in LA. And LA was cool because I met up with him and he was like, hey, come on, we got to go to the hotel next door. And I was like, well, dude, the show's not over. This was like Friday. We got there like probably like 3:30 in the afternoon. The show didn't end till like 7 or 8, right? He's like, no, I got another hotel. And I was like, where? He's like, on the back side of the convention. So you walk out, there's a hotel behind the hotel everybody stays at. Well, he had a room there just for like to go talk business and have drinks. And it was all set up through like him. And it was like free drinks. I mean, we just went over there, had some shots, like a couple drinks, pounded them real quick, walked back to the show, half twisted. And I'm like, bro, is this how this weekend's going to go? He's like, oh, for sure. You know it, dude. I was like, let's do it. Dude.
Sounds like a party.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It was like every other hour we'd like, hey, Matt, you want to go over? Like, it was literally at that show, it was me and him just walking around the show. And like, he's doing his thing, people interviewing him and stuff and whatever he's got to do. And I just kick it, whatever. Like, I don't care. I still in this industry don't look at myself as famous or anything like that. Like, if people know who I am, that's awesome, dude. It's a great feeling. I've just always wanted to provide high quality products for people to use and get enjoyment out of. That's really, and I totally changed everything in 2020. I went solely over to accessories.
Yeah, I was going to actually ask you about that because obviously you originally started by making, variations of the Squarius and other things as well, right? Because you also had a DNA.
I started way back with DNA 250s and 200s.
And you were doing like a lot of stabwood stuff and all that back in the day, right? And then just as time I don't even own half the shit I've made, dude. I don't even own a tenth of the shit I've made. Like, I don't have one of every mod I've made. Like, I know someone who does. I know a couple customers that do. I'm not one of them. But pretty much what I'm saying though is like you started off like making like mods, like started off kind of like basically.
Well, no, I started the first thing I did was with chuff caps.
Okay,
and that was in 2014. I was making chuff caps and I was doing them just local for like local shops and stuff. And I made the brass Omega caps. Remember the Omega atomizer? I don't know, maybe it's before your time.
Yeah, probably before mine. Yeah.
It was like one of the first high-end, like rebuildable drippers, and like it was super nice. But I made brass caps for that for local shops, and I made chuff caps for local shops. And a guy that I knew in the industry through the local shops, he was with Local Vape at the time. APV Freddy. I don't know if you guys know the name or not, but back then he was a big deal. And he hit me up and he put me on the phone with Erica from Local Vape.
Okay.
And back then Local Vape was like your West Coast distributor, and then Giant Vapes was your East Coast distributor.
Yep.
There wasn't all the other little ones in between. Those all kind of came a couple years later. Like, they all started blowing up. You had All Day Vapes. You've got, on the East Coast, you got a bunch of different ones. On the West Coast, you had a bunch of different ones popping up. And then some juice companies started doing their own distributing because they were like, fuck, cut the middleman out. Like,
Yeah.
make whatever money I can. And he set me up with her, and she says, how many can you have done by next week? I said, how many do you want? She gave me an order. I ordered the material, ran them for like 3 days, got them done, drove down to LA to the Ontario show in 2014 and hand delivered them. And like just walked into the show, and they were like, the guy was like, wasn't going to let us in because we were coming in through like a side entrance. Mind you, it was like 110 out, dude. So I wasn't even trying to stand outside. And and I was like, well, I got an order right here in my bag for local vape, and they're the biggest vendor in here. So if you don't let me in, like, I don't know, I'll just make a phone call. The guys, just go in. Because we didn't have our badges or anything. They were already inside waiting for me. So like I just walked in, and like that was my introduction into like the vaping convention, the industry as a whole.
Yeah.
And I did that for a while, and then the end of 2015, with what a lot of people don't know is I own an actual machine shop. I mean, this is not an at-home project for me. Like I've always worked with my dad's machine shop my whole life. I mean, I'm 44 years old. I've been running machines for 32 years. So I mean, it's just been life for me, cutting. Everyone talk about COVID. I'm like, man, COVID don't even want nothing to do with my body, dude. They walk in and be like, oh shit, like I bleed coolant, like it is what it is, dude. It's just been an everyday thing for me for damn near my entire life. And this was just something to kind of make my machining my own, and like kind of
do your own thing with it.
Yeah. And so I got into it, and then towards the end of 2015, like business was really slow on my dad's side. There's a lot of stuff changeover with the companies we do business for. We do a lot of business for can making machinery. You ever get California canned tomatoes? Well, every machine that's in a line that makes that can for that canned tomato, I've worked on them or overhauled them, or made tooling for them, or made changeover parts for them, or wear parts, gears, cams. Like I've done it all. Like I've seen it all. I've been inside the plants. Like I've been there, done that, seen that. It no big deal. And then my dad says, my dad actually laid me off.
Really?
Like
okay.
Like that's how bad it was. Like my dad actually laid me off. Like that's pretty hardcore, like he didn't want to, he had no work for me. And about a month and a half went by, and he called me, and he was helping me out when he could. Cause like unemployment was like nothing. And I live in a very expensive area. And he says, I want you to come in the shop. I want to talk to you about something. He says, I want you to design a mod. He says, but I want it to be what you want, not what everybody else wants. I want what you would want to make. So like I sat down and started designing and ideas running through the head and everything. And I came up with one. It was girthy. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it was girthy. But he was like, I don't want you to do some cheap shit. He's like, I want high end. Like, I was like, okay. So I didn't know much about it. Like I knew what chip I wanted to use. I knew I wanted to do a lipo. Because, back then I was like, fuck, I wake up in the morning and piss 40 watts. Like, I don't want a 40 watt mod. I want something I could run the Scott to a tank on, like something that I could rip.
Yeah, something you could put some power to.
Yeah. And there really wasn't, other than the Chinese mods that were out there, that like the Dual 18650, the Fu Chai 213 and all that stuff. But I mean, you can't compete with them. Like price wise, you can't compete with that stuff. So new on the market, new it like, I would say it was a fail. Like, I'm not going to say it was great. And then my dad was getting frustrated with everything. And he made a comment to me one night at the shop, and it pissed me off. And I stayed at the shop till like almost midnight. And my friend was actually there with me. He went and got dinner for us and brought it back to the shop. And I was like, I ain't leaving the shop until I redo this mod, make it smaller, make it more hand friendly. And then that's where this one came in. So if you can imagine, the original one was big, like 60% bigger than this.
Yeah.
So that's big,
that actually
right?
looks kind of tidy. Like, it doesn't look small
for what
it
is.
Yeah, for a lipo,
it's got a 1400 mile lipo, 3-cell lipo in there with the DNA 250. So I mean, yeah, for what it is, it's small. I've made smaller ones since then. And then I stuck with those, and I did fairly decent with them. You know, it was like I was, and then work started picking back up for my dad, so it was kind of like hit and miss, hit and miss. And then it was 2017, end of 2017. I got invited to a show down in Dallas, and that was what's they're not around. It was Showcase.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I went to the Showcase Dallas, and I think I brought like 35 mods with me or something like that. They were I brought that's when I introduced the 18650 DNA 75, and I think I sold 10 of them to Suicide Bunny, and like put their load. Like I brought them back, she bought a couple, and then like she bought blocks, and I made them from blocks that my friend had, and then like sold those to her. It might have been 20, I can't remember. It was quite a few, but it was a great show.
Yeah.
And then I got invited to Showcase, and like right after that was Showcase starting in 2000. That would have been 2018. That's when everything started picking up. That's when like, okay, now you're doing shows. And I was doing shows like one a month, or one every other month or month and a half or whatever it wound up being. I did the next Showcase, which was St. Louis. And then literally like not even a month later, I was in Connecticut for my first time. And that's when I released my first mech squonk. And I remember meeting Connor from Mums at the Dallas show. And then we were both of us were also at the Showcase in St. Louis, which technically was in Illinois. But we were both at that show. And he says, when you going to make a squonk? And I was like, how long do we have till Connecticut? He was like, I don't know, like a month and a half or something like that. I was like, I'll see you there. And he was like, oh, like that? And I was like, I'll see you there. And I showed up with my first mech squonk, and that one did pretty well. Like the first one did pretty well. Like it kind of survived me. And what survived me was making them out of resin. Like that's
making that switch over from doing like a lot of the stab wood stuff and just like switching over to
just switching over to full resin for but the thing was, a lot of guys that were making the mech squonks and stuff, they were either doing an aluminum frame for the peons had the aluminum frames. Connor had he was all about the G10 stuff.
Yeah.
And also the Delrin, and sometimes some crazy materials we always find and we work with and everything. And I was like, all right, well, none of these dudes mess with resin. Like Connor did some stab wood ones, but didn't really like it because it's so fragile, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and your wall thickness there is not very much, dude. And you just don't know how people are going to take care of stuff. Resin's a little more forgiving. And on an 18650, you're not really worrying about someone putting a lot of heat to that top. So you not really worrying about it warping or anything. And then the squonking kind of died. Like it started to like slowly die. And I was like, well, how do I revamp this? Well, the end of 2018, I was getting ready for the Vegas show, which was actually VAP Expo, which was an international show that they brought to Vegas. And I was like, I'm gonna make a 21700 because I ain't seen nobody do a 21700.
There wasn't a lot around at the time.
Not really good ones, not people that were using solid silver contacts, top and bottom, and like polycarbonate bodies that are actually very strong. Like I showed someone how strong they were. My 270-pound ass stood on one, and he was like, "Dude, are you kidding me?" I was like, "Yeah." Well, if that was acrylic, it would have shattered. Like instantly, just drop it on the ground, and it'll shatter. Just because that's how fragile the stuff is. That's why you don't see me do acrylic panels. I do resin panels. Yes, resin is fragile. It can break, but it actually has more tensile strength than acrylic.
Mm-hmm.
Acrylic is very fragile, but it's hard to scratch. Just seems weird. It's harder to scratch, but it's super fragile. You could knock your mod over like that, shatter a panel in a heartbeat. So I'm like, I don't want to mess with that stuff, dude. Like, and to be honest, you get that material in 1/8-inch sheets. It could be an 1/8 inch here. It could be 20 thousandths thinner over here. And now your panels aren't nice and flat how they're supposed to be, and they're not what they're supposed to be. I have a very roundabout way of doing things, and I'm very set in the way I do things. And if it's not right, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And when people some people know how to push the right buttons into me to get me to do things. And like Evan, Evan.
Yeah.
I mean, Evan's the master of it. And he's not even like related to me, but he's like the master of it. He knew that, like, he just got to a point where we were like, oh, you ain't down for that. And I'm like, oh, really, motherfucker? Like, oh,
Yeah.
how long you got to wait around?
Tell me I
dude?
won't. Tell me I won't.
I just got to look at him and be like, how long you got to wait around? He'd be like, I got all day, bro. He's like, you need me to go get lunch? He's like, I'll go get lunch, bro. Like, I got all day, dude. Like, let's do this, And lo and behold, I come out and like that's how it works. But that one actually did really well. That one took off for me. Obviously, two of you guys have one. Your wife has one, Sean. I mean, you guys, Tony B's got several of them.
Tony B's the reason why I even got one, because I saw his video and I was like, dude, that thing is sick. I need one.
Yep.
But
James is the reason we got ours, because he showed up with his after it. He was like, "Look at this!"
And I walked up with it in the Deshi bag, and I was just like, "Bros," and I just like slowly slid it out. They saw the Juma, and they're like, "What?" And dude, what I love about this one too,
I've always appreciated the support from all of you guys, man. It's like, and from like you guys like Tony, it's blind support, dude. It's like you aren't looking for something for free. You're not looking for handouts. There are those guys that they always go like, oh, bro. And trust me, I've met them. I've told them off at shows, and like people are like, bro, you know who that is? I was like, yeah, I know exactly who that is. Bro, you talked to, I was like, what, he thinks he's better than me? He don't make nothing. I put all my blood, sweat, and tears into this shit,
There's a difference between, looking for handouts and just appreciating someone's fucking hard work. You know what I mean? Like.
And I really do appreciate that. Like I know there's a lot of modders out there that do appreciate the love and support that they get from their customers and from people just gawking over it and talking about it all the time. That is part of what we do as modders, or even juice guys in the industry, coil makers in the industry, cotton makers. I mean, whatever it is, dude, when you like, if you don't have pride in what you do, and then you're not going to be able to appreciate somebody else appreciating your stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
Like if I didn't give 2 cares in the world about what I made and just made it because I could, and like I had really no appreciation for it. 1, I probably wouldn't be successful, and 2, I wouldn't be able to like still get like happy when I see someone get happy about what I make. Like that, like I see that look on their face. That's why shows were great, man. They get them like, oh man, it's awesome, and you get to see it in person.
Yeah,
like
instead of them just ordering on your website, and then you're like, you see them post a picture, cool, that's dope, but I'd rather see your face when you fucking open it up and be like, oh, yeah. Like, dude, I wish I would have like fucking FaceTimed you and Dan when I opened it, so you guys, because dude, I was like, no fucking way, dude. I was just so stoked when I opened these panels, dude, because like, as soon as I got one of these, I was like, all right, at some point, Matt's gonna make panels for these things.
Oh yeah,
and when he does, I'm going to get some. I knew, because I remember I think I even messaged you about it beforehand, or we were talking about it even in Houston or whatever. And I was like, dude, whenever you make panels, bro, I'm gonna get some.
Well, I didn't have it no, I didn't have it in Houston. I didn't have it in Houston. It wasn't out yet in Houston. It came out
that, or we talked
year.
about it on Instagram or something. I was like, dude, whenever you make some, bro, I'm gonna get some, and then behold.
Yeah, and I'm all down for custom work too, but it's like the custom work is like pick and choose who I do custom work for, because y'all got to understand when I'll tell you 2 to 3 weeks, but it might be a month, and like I'm very upfront about it. And if someone messages me like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, hey, I've been out for 2 days because of my hand, right? Or, my dad's work always comes first. Like, I don't care if I'm in the middle of my job. My dad will be like, hey, when you get to a stopping point, let me know when you're at that stopping point. I need to get this job done real quick, because that's the money that really funnels and flows the shop.
Keeps the lights on.
Well, I mean, that's my dad's doing close to $200,000 worth of business a year. I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
I wish I was, but that's the work that's, keeps that's always the bread and butter work. Mm-hmm. Like even when my dad retires or passes away or whatever, and the shop's mine, that work, I'm gonna still continue that work, because there's no reason for me to stop that work, because I could do that work and then still do this and bring a little bit more money in, So, and I'm lucky enough to have a father like that. that went out on his own and started his own business. Took him 6, 7, 8 tries to have a son, but I got five older sisters. But took him forever to have a son. But
dude, he probably had a lot of fun trying, so don't feel too bad.
If you're not having fun trying, you're probably not getting pregnant.
That's a truth.
But the pulse thing, the interesting thing about I've done a lot of work, bro. I've done a lot of shit, dude. I got into Nux, that kind of stuff. I got into everyday carry stuff. Tried to break in. The reason my website's called Everything BT Customs, my company's BT Customer, actually Bennett Tool Customs, because that's my dad's business is Bennett Tool and Machine. So keeping him with the family theme, Bennett Tool Customs with an S, not a Z, because I'm not dumb. But the reason the group is called Everything BT Customs and the website's Everything BT Customs, because it encompasses everything I do. I'm not just vape stuff. Yes, 90% of the shit that's on my website is vape stuff. But when we're down, we get some nice, ballpoint pens up there. I've got Nux that get up there. There's other stuff that I'm working on. I'm one guy, dude. I'm one guy with one machine that, goes to town on shit.
Yeah.
So it's like you can only do so much in a day. Granted, we got more than one machine, but like my CNC, I only got one CNC. And you want to keep it moving. So it's like when one project gets done, you get another project in there. When that project gets done, you get another project in there, or you hope you have another project to put in there.
Yeah. Just keep that continuous door going.
And the one thing when the Pulse and the Cthulhu came out, that was kind of like the Boros World's introduction to China mods. Like nothing wrong with them, nothing against it. But it was, now these guys want accessories for them. Man, I went around on this with Tony. I was like, bro, it's no, dude. Like, I want to. Don't get me wrong. I want to. Like, that was nothing more than what I want, dude. To be able to make accessories for one of your best friend's products, that's like the biggest honor in the world. Like, that's just, like, I'm doing for Billet Box. I don't know Billet Box. I don't know Delro. I don't know Cthulhu. I don't know this person. I don't know Dot. Like, I don't know this. I mean, bro, I can't even. I had to go on my website to tell you how many devices I make shit for, dude. I forget. But when it comes down to making something for Scott Tua, one of my best friends, talk to him 2-3 times a week. Still, for the last 6 years, it's been like that.
Yeah.
Tony B, we talk once a month, sometimes a couple times a month. To make something for his device. Yeah, it's a China-made device. Okay, that's fine. It's still his input on it. It's a 21700 Billet Box is what it is. Like, let's be honest. It's an 80-watt 21700.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
Right here. Right there.
Come on now.
But and I'm not sure how many of you guys are actually on Facebook, but I did a Facebook Live. I woke up on a Saturday morning. I was in the Pulse group. I want to say it was like February of this year. I woke up and somebody had tagged me in something in the Pulse group. And it was this thread of this guy going, just calling out modders that were all money grabbers, this, that, and the other. And I was like, all right, y'all about to piss me off, dude. James knows more than anybody in this.
I already know where this is going.
He knows more than anybody. I don't give a fuck what people think about me. I don't have a persona I put out that, like, what you see at a show is a persona. No, that's me.
Yeah,
like that 100%. Is me. That is how I am. You get drinks in me, it gets a little worse sometimes, But I mean, I come from a very good background. I come from a great family. Again, like I said earlier, my parents just celebrated 64 years of marriage. I come from an amazing set of parents, an amazing upbringing, but I also did my dirt and got myself into a different side of the world that my parents never wanted me to see or never wanted me to be a part of. But I did a lot of dirt before I cleaned my act up and, but I still have those suspect characters in my life that I've always had around. Just they don't even do the same dirt that we used to do, but we still have those mannerisms from hanging out in East Oakland and hanging out in, Hayward and the bad areas where we were sitting on the corners doing shit we shouldn't have been doing, Like, so I still got that mannerism in me, and it's never going to change. And some people, it's a turnoff to them. I try to tone it down at shows. Like, you'll never hear me say some of the shit that I say to my friends around here. I'm not even going to say them on here because I don't want your guys to be like, man, who's this motherfucker they got on there? Like,
He's rude. Jeez.
Oh, I am, dude. I'm a complete asshole, bro. But that's why people love me. Is because I'm an asshole. I'm just tell you, I'm gonna be real. You want to ask me certain questions about certain people, I'm gonna tell you how I feel about it.
That's why I like you, Matt. Is because you're just one of those people. You're 100% authentically you, bro, and that's it. You're you 100% of the time, dude. And
I'm loud. I'm aggressive. Like but my aggressiveness comes because I am loud. Like, it's not, I'm not aggressive, but like people think I'm aggressive because I'm loud. And well, I'm loud because I had 5 older sisters and I work around loud ass machines all day.
Yeah. What do you expect?
Yeah. Like, what do you expect, dude?
But behind all that, like, once people actually get to know you, they come to find out you're a pretty fucking cool dude. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm not anything special. Like, it is an honor for some people, customers, to look at you and hold you in a higher regard than a normal person. But to me, I don't really like it. I don't know how to react to it most times because I'm just a normal person.
You're just a machinist at the end of the day.
That's all I look at myself as. Now, the one thing I will boast myself is my polishing.
Dude,
like, that's one thing
I will 100% back you, bro, because this shit is like glass, son. Like, look at that. You see the reflection of the light over there? Look at that.
It took me about 4 years to perfect that, to where now if I don't polish for like a month or two, I'll take like whatever I have to polish. I'll take like the darkest set, because we all know like black or like really dark is like, it doesn't hide anything. You cannot hide a scratch in it, nothing. So that's what I'll start with. And then I'll even impress myself sometimes. I'm like, damn, I still got that shit. Like, okay, all right.
But that just comes with, like you're saying, putting in the effort and been it for as long as you have, and you take pride in what you do, as you can see, because you're not gonna, like you just said, you're not gonna put off something that's you're gonna see a little scuff or a scratch. You'll literally sit there until that shit looks fucking nice and shiny all the way around. And then at the end of the day, your customers are going to appreciate that. And that's why you get to why you have people continuously coming back to you for, like I did. I bought one of these, and then I got some tips from you at the Boro Bowl, and then, panels now. And who knows, I'm probably going to get stuff from you in the future. I'm not going to say probably, it's going to happen.
I know my tips work on the stubby.
Oh,
I know that for a fact.
Bro, there's one on there right now, son. What are you talking about, dude? That was the first thing I did, bro. I was like, oh, and this is another one. Like, it's a shorter tip, but this is also really comfy, integrated tip.
I remade that one, and that one's now called the Rookie.
It looks a little bit taller on the site.
It might. They're all generally the same. They're all about a half-inch tall, 525 thousandths tall, whatever. I don't do millimeters, so you ain't never going to get millimeter dimensions out of me. But they work across.
Yeah, dude, they work in the
they
poles.
Work across everything.
They even work in my Ravine too.
Which one's the Ravine?
That's the the mech.
Is that the mech?
Yeah, the one from Snowcap. Okay. They even work in here.
Okay.
Man. I haven't had any issues with them. Like, all 3 or 4 of the ones I have work in everything.
Yeah, I haven't opened up the website. I try to keep like the website stock, and like even if I run out, I'll just put certain colorways back in stock, because I don't have to retake pictures for certain ones.
Yeah.
Because it is what it is. So like that's what the material is going to look. Sometimes the pattern on it can be so different that like I have to take a picture so you actually know what you're getting. Like, I'm not, but like I just restock them, and even if I don't have them in stock made, it takes 15 minutes to set up, make one, put it together, done, pack it up, ship it out. It's not that big a deal. But I haven't opened it up to where you can buy. What you can do is you can go buy a tip, and then you can go back and you can buy the matching button for the devices that I offer matching buttons for. And you just pick the same color material, like, because the materials are all named.
Yeah.
Like, it's got a color name. So you just pick the same color name, and then it's up to like, my lead time is like 1 to 2 weeks. Usually I'll get it done the next week and get it shipped out, because I don't want stuff sitting around. But I give myself that little bit of a cushion, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe I get 20 orders that weekend where it's okay, well, I got to set up, but I got to make buttons for this device, this device. I think there's like 6 or 7 devices that we offer buttons for. But like Charles from BMM, he offers it where you can order a drip tip, whatever style you want and whatever material he has, and then same with buttons for his device. And then I think he makes billet box buttons as well. I haven't opened up the tips that way yet. I just kind of keep them stock, you know, and I have like the 4 styles that I do.
Yeah, and then you
Fat
just do like
Boys
a little package deal where you just go find the matching color to whatever tip you got.
for the
and
buttons,
yeah.
for the buttons, for the tips you have. And it just it works out really well. You know, you might come in on a Monday morning and have 5 orders. You might come in on a Monday morning, you might have 20 orders. You know, you might have none. I mean, it is what it is. They all wait for you to drop new stuff. You know, it's always coming around, and it's just trying to keep up with it, man. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not. There's a lot of good makers in the industry that make stuff for mods. I don't make stuff for. And there's guys who make stuff that I do make stuff for, but it's all on, everybody's got their own followers.
Yeah.
You know, some guys are more popular than others. Why, I don't know, can't tell you. I can't explain it. I'm not even going to try to explain it. It just is what it is.
It's like anything, man. It's, you know, people are, you know, they like what they like. You know what I mean? It's like, why you wear, this guy wear Nike and then this guy wear Vans? You know what I mean?
But sometimes it comes down to it. If they may not necessarily even like what they're buying, but they know that they can flip it for more.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of it too.
I might like, and a couple guys have told me back in the day that I made unflippable stuff, and I said, "What? It's not good." I said, "No, you're just too available. Anybody can get what they want from you, so they don't worry about it." Now there are times where I make shit that's like, I'm only making 5 sets of these, and I'm never gonna make that block again.
Yeah,
and those. Bro, I can't even keep those. Like, literally, I'm not even done making them, and they're sold.
Dude, one thing that I've noticed as the years
man.
the years have gone on is exclusivity is a big thing, and like just like collecting things. Like if you can find something and it's rare and there's only a few of them out there, it doesn't really matter what it is and what like industry. People jump on that shit because they want to be that guy that say, "Oh yeah, well I got number 2 of 10 here, or I got 1 of 100 or whatever." You know, remember when serial numbers were a big thing? Like when you when you'd get a setup and it's like, "Oh, dude, what number did you get?" Hey,
you always got
number
like the
9,
low
dude.
serial number. Yep, I always got like low serial numbers and stuff.
I think I have like 1 or 2 that have like low ones, and I have like 1 that's like a prototype. And when I got that first prototype, dude, I was like, "Oh fuck yeah, dude."
that thing got the protos was wild.
I was like, dude, I'm
fucking protos. For protos, you can't ever sell protos.
No,
because if you sell a proto, you're a dick. You're a douchebag. You're like, I'm just sorry. It is what it is, bro. That person or that company sent you that proto.
Yeah.
Because of who you are and because of like where you've been and done.
What I went.
I guess if you bought it though, you could sell it.
Yeah.
Right?
If you bought it, if you paid money for it, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Okay.
I don't care.
But what I ended up doing with it, and I didn't realize it until I did, is I went and sent it and got it coded, and then didn't realize it was the prototype one until it was at Ashton's, and he's like, "Hey, dude,
oh shit,
you know this is the prototype, right?" I'm like,
and you're like, no,
I didn't, but fuck it, dude, let's do it. And so I was never getting rid of it anyway, so why not make that one dope? You know what I mean?
Yeah, make it what you want,
dude,
it to look
and let
like.
me tell you, bro. Let me find this bad boy because this thing looks sick.
But like I had like with the Scott Tua mod, you know, like
look at that, That's
dope.
pretty dope looking fucking mod there.
You had the green done, or was it
all of it, dude? He redid the black
because
because like on the rings too, he had a little like kind of galaxy splatter and inlaid the unicorns on there. Did the same. Oh, I actually have the button on a different mod, but the button he did like a dope fucking splatter pattern on too.
Okay,
it's actually on. Oh no, it's not on that mod either. But yeah, dude, that was a cool day, bro. Getting low serial numbers was a cool thing at a point.
Yeah, I agree, but and everyone's like, "Oh, Matt, you need to." Yeah, everyone's always telling me like, "Oh, you need to put your logo on it." And like I did on some of the aluminum ones on the inside, we put my logo on it, and it's a lot of time, it's a lot of effort, it's more money, it holds things up. Not because everybody takes too long. It's just it's another process you
Yeah.
got to do. But we did it, and then like I got to a point to where it was like, especially with the resin and stuff, like my polish is my calling card.
Yeah, I was about to
Like
say at a certain
everyone knows
point,
that.
like you're gonna have your look, and someone's gonna know when they
Yeah.
look at something like, oh, that's a Bennett Tool Customs panel, or yeah,
Yep.
he made that tip, or obviously like with like you didn't have other than the the B cutout, you know what I mean? Like
And the
if you,
curve,
and the curve, like
too.
you
But
look at this and like, oh,
curve's
that's
the
got
same.
that.
It's the same curve
Yeah.
that's in this.
But
That's
you're so
been in all
comfy
my
in the hand,
mods.
by the way, too, guys. If you didn't know,
And that curve actually came from an old
I was about to
Network
say
remote.
from the old Dish Network remote. I remember having that conversation when we were having
I was
the
like
beers.
literally sitting on my couch one night, and I was like, man, I was thinking about the mod, like what I wanted to make and everything. I knew it was going to be a lipo, so you really your shaping of a mod is completely different. Like you almost can't shape it. It's going to be square of some kind, so I wanted to put some sort of shape on it. And I was just sitting there. It's like, well, that's really comfortable in my hand. And like I went back in and I just guessed. Like I didn't like measure it or nothing. I just guessed and held my mod and held. I was like, oh shit, I cut it pretty close. Like, all right, cool. Like, and then it just kind of stuck through like everything that I did. Because it was just comfortable. I revamped the Arius Mini and the Arius 2. And then I made the Arius 217, which were my DNA 75C. One was a single 18650, and the other's a single 21700.
Yeah, I
did
remember those. Those
revamp
were the lot
and
slimmer version, right? It still had that same
yeah,
curve in the back.
they saw the curve in the back, but what I did was I started shaping the whole body. After I had it together, I would shape the whole body and everything to give it like they're really small. I have one at my shop. I don't happen to have one sitting in front of me. You can go through my Facebook or my Instagram or whatever. They're on there somewhere. Somewhere there's some on there, But I mean, I've enjoyed doing what I'm doing, and I still enjoy it. Like I still really enjoy doing what I'm doing. It's always more enjoyment when you see stuff selling.
Yeah.
But I got cloned for the first time.
Really?
Oh yeah, just Thursday morning I woke up, and Wednesday I'd been doing all the Scott Tua stuff for the Borox, and I was only posting in his group, and that was all I was doing because I'm an admin in his group. So it was like all I was doing was posting in his group because I was like, that's where all the Borox guys are going to be because there's not that many of them out there yet. So that's where I was doing it. And I wake up the next morning and like 4 or 5 dudes had hit me up at like 4 o'clock in the morning. Right. And I'm like, I ignore my phone. Like, 4 o'clock in the morning. Fuck you hit me up for, dude. Unless like you're like one of my homies, dude. Like I ain't responding to you. Even half the time I don't respond to them. I like respond to them. So like 6 o'clock, I had to go to the bathroom. I was like, oh, let me check my phone. And like, what? Like, what? Then I go on Facebook and it's all over Facebook and a bunch of different groups. And I'm like, oh shit. I guess you kind of made it when someone decides they're going to clone you and try to like scam people. Like it's kind of a fucked up thing to say, but like at the same time, you're kind of like, all right, I've been doing this since 2014. I ain't never been cloned. Ain't nobody ever tried to scam someone with my shit.
Yeah, they could obviously see that you had a strong enough following, and we're like, oh well, let's get this guy.
Yeah, but I mean, but that's the thing. That's why you have good admins. Apparently, this guy, it was somebody from the Scott Tua group.
It would have had to have been because, like you said,
that's the only place that it was.
Yeah,
exactly. The pictures that he used, they were only posted in that group. So, we've kind of, I got with Scott, and like I talked to Scott yesterday morning about that, and I was like, well, I'm gonna go back through the group, and anybody whose account's not fucking 2019 or older, they're out. And he was like, well, whatever, do what you gotta do. I mean,
start giving the boot.
It seems like a fucked up thing to say, but I mean, that's how we do it in my group, man. If your Facebook account isn't like a couple years old, and you could have, oh, I started my account yesterday. Yeah, bro, you ain't getting in my group, dude.
Yeah.
Like my admins are not letting that through, dude. Oh, you started your account 3 months ago. You ain't getting in my group, dude. It's not happening. Like,
Yeah.
sorry, it just seems fucked up, but it ain't
It's
happening.
like, come back in like 2.5 years. And
Yeah, well, I had one guy that like he started his group and he started his Facebook in 2020. It was like towards the end, like middle or end of 2020. It was like 2021. He was trying to get in my group, and he had like, 200-300 friends, and like you see, he was posting stuff. And so I messaged him. I say, hey, is there a reason? Like, I see you're trying to get in my group, and we denied him, and he tried to get back in. We denied him again. He tried to get back in. We denied him again. He tried to get back in, and it was like instantly. And I'm like, okay, this has to be a real person, not a scammer, because a scammer will just give up.
Yeah, they just give up, go to the next one.
Yeah, they're just like, I'm over it. I'll go to the next group. And so I messaged him, and he says, yeah, I was on Instagram, and he's like, I've just realized that like Facebook, to be in these groups, that's where you get some of your stuff. And I was like, oh. I said, I didn't mean to offend. He's like, no, bro, no offense taken, dude. He's like, I understand why you're doing what you're doing, and no problem. And right then he ordered like 4 setups. It was just like, I want these custom setups, and you ordered like 4 setups.
I'm glad that, hey, shout out to the persistent dude.
For real.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, dude.
But going back to the whole Pulse shit and the Cthulhu shit coming on the market, obviously I was going to do stuff for Tony. I mean, that was just a given, right? Got to. Then all these guys in the Pulse group, and it was the Pulse group. That's where the bitching came from. And they started calling guys like me, and they started throwing names around. And I was like, bitch, you put my name in your mouth, you better be able to back up whatever the fuck you're saying, because I am the wrong motherfucker to be talking shit about. Because I will show up at your house. I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care. I don't care where you live. I'll show the fuck up. And I'll show the fuck out. I could care less. That's just how I'm born and bred, dude. It just is what it is. I don't care. I don't care if I lose you as a customer. I'm gonna speak my mind. And I feel a lot of people in the industry aren't like that for their own reasons. It's nothing bad. Just that's what makes me me. I don't care. Like, the people who are going to be my customers and stand behind me and have my back 100% are going to be people that understand that's who I am. And that's how I carry myself. I care about my customers. I care about 100% care about the quality of my product. If you get a product and there's damage, I'll remake that shit for you, or I'll refund you however you want it to go. Like, I don't care. That just is what it is.
Yeah.
That's what part of business is. But I went down. And I went down to my shop, and it was a Saturday, right? And I don't go to my shop. 40 plus years old, dude. I don't go to my shop if I don't have to. Like Monday through Friday, I'm there all day. Saturday, Sunday, I like to keep those days to myself to do whatever the hell I want to do. But I was like, I'm gonna go down to the shop because I wasn't gonna do this at home because I had something in mind. So this had to be done at my shop. And so I went live in my group, and I called it something, and it instantly shut the feed down. So I had to restart it again. And I called it I got something to get off my mind. And I just, man, dude, for like an hour straight, dude, I just laid into consumers. Laid into it.
I think I even popped in on that at one point.
Oh, hell, bro. It went from like, I think I had in the beginning, I had maybe like 20 people watching because, they're like, oh, what's Matt doing on a Saturday? Like, let me jump in real quick. And I just started going off. I mean, I was walking around my shop. I mean, I went the fuck off, dude. And I was calling motherfuckers out, like not specific models, but I was calling these at-home guys that are 3D printing shit and selling it for $20 a set. And they're what ruined the industry. Yeah, it's cool. Make it for yourself, but man, then you go start selling that shit and it's garbage, dude. And you're selling garbage to people, dude. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna speak it how it is. I have 3D printed mods, but they're professionally 3D printed mods, and they're very nice mods. And again, I was against the 3D print stuff until I got a very nice one. I was like, okay, you changed my mind.
There's definitely a difference in quality between, a nice high
100%.
quality 3D printing and, because anybody can really get a 3D printer. It's just based, what quality of stuff do you want to put out there? You know what I mean?
But the second I started going off, bro, it went from like 20 people to like over 100, dude. And I was like, this is what I have. I have to show you aggro Matt to get like 100 people to watch what's going on. And like, I went off for like an hour, dude. Like, I had people messaging me while I was going off, dude. Like, on the messages were like, bro, dude, like everybody's commenting on the thread and everything. And I just wanted people to know, dude, like, you want to call me a money grubber and like a cash grab guy, bro, I took you around my shop. In the heyday of the shop, dude, that was $1 million of machinery I just showed you. Now, obviously, once machinery is used, it ain't worth anywhere near what you paid for it. But I mean, you want to go spend that and then have that overhead of my shop where you got to pay $2,000 a month to have the shop plus another $350 a month for PG&E, and you know, then you're constantly buying new tooling and all this stuff, and that's all built into the cost of what I do. Now, there are some very good guys that do this stuff at home, and they're very good at what they do, and their prices reflect what they do. And they're like me, they stand behind their product and they put out a good quality product. I mean, I own a lot of them and I support all of them, you know? And it was just like, it pissed me off so much. And like, even Scott got on there and started talking, and like other modders were on there talking and commenting and this, that, and the other. And a couple of them hit me up afterwards, and Scott hit me up afterwards after I stopped everything. And like, he FaceTimed me. He was like, bro, he was like, you definitely spoke your mind, dude. I was like, how could I not, dude? Like, how could I not? They basically dared me to defend myself. That's how I looked at it. Like, you dare me to do something. If it's something that I feel like I should do, like, I'm going to do it.
And this is part of it too, is a lot of people don't understand what it takes to put out a certain type of product. You know, they only see what it is that they can see, you know what I mean? They don't see the amount of time that you spend at your CNC machine, you know, perfecting the cutouts and sitting at the polish,
designing it. Well, I mean,
yeah,
it's not like Billet Box sent me their blueprint to their panels. It's not like Pulse sent me.
Yeah,
their
you had to
blueprint
sit
to their
there
panel.
and try and, you know, do little tweaks and
tweaking, dialing things in to make sure. Yeah,
I recently started operating a CNC machine myself, so I know what it takes to, you know, you every time you have to make slight adjustments. Because it's never going to be the same every time, because the material is different every time. You know what I mean? So you have to make
whatever material you're working with, like working from aluminum to brass to copper to acrylic to resin to stainless steel.
There's different tolerances and, you know, all that sort of thing. So like there's a little bit more to it when it comes down to like the type of thing that you're producing compared to someone doing like a 3D printed thing.
With Scott's being that him and I are best friends, like, and I actually had input on this device when he made it. He just sent me the prints. He literally just emailed me the prints. He was like, here's the prints for the panels. I was like, all right, so if I make them to the prints, like I do with anything in my career, they should work. And he's like, yeah, 100%. He's all tolerance is built in. I was like, all right, cool. Sounds good. That wrote the programs like it was nothing. You know, like tweak the programs. I'm like, oh, I'm going to tweak this here, or like I'm going to run this process here or run this different. Like, you know, I tweaked a couple things, but it was like I had the blueprint in front of me. The dimensions were exactly how I
So it took a lot of the guessing work out of that, and at that point it's just minor adjustments just to dial it in.
Exactly. Yeah, you're dialing your tooling in to make sure your tooling's cutting right.
And then at that point you got your profile already in there, so whenever you need to come back, make some more things, put the
programs there.
CNC is so cool, bro. I've been really digging learning how to use it. Not gonna lie.
I will never, like I said, I've been machining for 32 years, but I was mostly a manual machinist. Like, and there's a difference. There's a strong difference between
big difference.
Now I know some amazing CNC machinists, but they won't ever say they're a full machinist. They're a CNC machinist. They can do shit with the CNC that I can't do. Now my machine can do it. I just don't know how to program that way, because I program differently, you know. But when it comes to being a machinist, whatever you could do on a CNC back in, like, well, nowadays there's shit you could do on a CNC that I can't do on a manual. Like, it's just not even possible. But back in the day, it'd be like, hey, whatever you can do on a CNC, I can do on a manual. It's going to take me longer, but I can still do it.
Yeah. The setup's going to be a little bit different, you know, this process
completely
might take
different,
Dude, let me tell you, bro, the process, just the changeover time between our old manual machine compared to what I can do on this new CNC, bro, is fucking night and day, dude. It is ridiculous how much time it takes me to change out my machine for different material than it does theirs.
We had like kind of like an inferior CNC machine as like our first one, and then we got a Mazak. In 2008, we got a Mazak, and I actually had the input on what I wanted to buy. And so that's what we bought. and jobs that we had done on this other one that like we always had to fight the machine and just didn't hold tolerances very well. It was basically like a really large Bridgeport with CNC controls on it.
Mhm.
So it wasn't like a full-on CNC, like fully enclosed CNC. And so like one of the first jobs we did was this stuff called spin flanger tooling. So it's like a picture, like a round head that maybe like 3-4 inch, like this particular one was like 3.5 inch diameter, and it has these little bullets in it. And the bullets, what the bullet did was they were held in with bearings from the back and clamped in place, and they stuck out the front, and that was your profile of the flange you were going to put on a can that flared out the edge of the can. So when the can end was set in there, they flanged it around, and that's what holds your can end in place. So it had 10 bullets in it, and you got to hold a certain depth so that when the two bearings go in there, you got to grind this surface. So when the two bearings are in there and you're down, this cap holds the bearing in place, but doesn't put too much pressure to squash them, just holds them in place. I did the first one, and my dad quickly realized I was correct, that everything has to be carbide tooling. Everything. You got to come in with a rougher, and then you got to come in and do this. And he was like, okay, so first one was fucked up. He realized that we went and got the right tooling, did everything. So you had a rough and end mill that came down in, and then you had your finisher came down in. My uncle, who did the finish work, he made all the bullets and then put everything together after I did the mill work. He comes over, gets the first one done. He says, that took me 15 minutes to do. I was like, what did it normally take me? He's like, I'd fight with them for an hour. He was like, everything I want to let you know that you did a great job. And I was like, it was
all the machine, bro.
All the machine.
All the machine. I put some things in, press start, and then
work before.
That was
well,
you got to put in the work.
Yeah.
Before.
But other than that,
doing work.
Other than that, the machine does it, dude.
CNC
It's crazy.
The one scary thing about a CNC machine is, and I've done it, and I've crashed my machine probably a dozen times. I blew up a 3-inch end mill. Like, that's hard to fucking do. Like, I blew it the fuck up and jammed the head. Did not damage the machine, but I fucked that end mill in part up for sure. You put that decimal point.
Oh yeah, dude.
One wrong place. One wrong place.
That's a big difference, bro.
You're thinking it's supposed to be an inch, and you've all of a sudden put 11 inches, and you're just like, that bitch ramps down. If you ain't got
I wonder
if
that would like make a difference if you would use metric, like the proper way to measure. If you use that, it might be a lot better. You know what I mean?
But like, you feel like your proper way to measure and shove it up your ass.
I think those mistakes might be a little bit lower. You know what I mean?
No, my machine. You can have the machines actually put into millimeters. Like your programming would be in millimeters. Being what we do, we have because all the work
ours was converted over too.
Yeah, ours is converted over to just to American standard.
We do a lot of we work with wood, so all of our stuff is in inches.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I run a CNC molding machine.
Okay. For a wood shop cabinet maker, or
no, we do the big wooden spools for like General Electric, Philips, and all those guys. So those big ass wooden spools you see on the back of the wire trucks and shit.
Yeah.
Make ones from this big to 10 feet tall, bro. Big ass fuckers.
Damn.
And I run the radius on all of our stave, which is what we put in to create the barrel on the inside of the reel.
Okay.
So I sit there and put the different, radius on them depending on what, radius reel we're working with.
Yeah. Okay.
And it was a little bit of a tedious process to learn at first, but dude, now that I ran it a few times, bro, I go in there, all right, make a few little adjustments here, a few little adjustments there, run the first piece, bam, on nuts, and then I just sit there and run that thing all day, bro.
Yeah. I mean, when we first got this CNC and my Mazak in, it was like night and day compared to the CNC we had. Like, it's size-wise, like it just enormous compared. You got a 30 head tool changer on there, and you're just like, it was like, I've been around big machinery my whole life. I've been around machines my whole life. I've seen them. I've been to tool shows and stuff, and it's just like, when it's actually in your shop and it's yours and you have to hit go, man, that first time's scary, bro. Like, you're just like, Hell no. That's you put the ramps down way low so everything's coming in nice and slow so you can kind of check everything. And and I still do that today. I'll put it down to like 25% on the first one just to make sure I didn't fuck something up, because it happens. And you're just like, oh yeah. All right. Once the first part's done, you're like, all right, hit go. Put it at 100%, ramp it, let it fly. But like I said, I enjoy what I do. I can't wait to get the slants back from the Cerakoter in about another week or so. I should have them back.
Hell yeah, dude.
I did pretty good on the pre-sales. Thank you. I want to do them for the pulse, but them motherfuckers ain't gonna pay that kind of money, bro.
Yeah,
like they ain't gonna put out $180 for a set of panels, dude. It just ain't gonna happen, dude. And some
might, but a majority probably won't.
Majority probably won't. But a lot of guys are like, oh well, this model only costs. I don't care what you paid for the device, bro.
That's not going to change the price of my work.
My work is dialed in one way and one way only. What does the material cost me? What is the runtime on my machine? Because I have an overhead. I'm not at home. At home, you kind of look and go, I don't really got an overhead. What do I pay on the machine? When the machine's paid off, I'm paying $2,000 a month to own that machine. When the machine's paid off, I own it. I don't owe nothing on it, right? So you really don't have an overhead. You could take a portion of your rent for your house or your mortgage for your house and kind of dial that in and say it's an overhead. Okay, so I got an overhead at my shop. I'm $95 an hour. We used to be $150 an hour, but we went down into one machine shop, so it cut our rent in half. So, it cut our overhead down, but I'm $95 an hour. So I know that each minute that I work is worth $1.50 in 60 minutes. So that's okay. So how many minutes does that take me to run? What did my material cost? What's my finish? Like if I got to sand and polish it, how long does that take me? Because that's time is, that's your time. Time is money. So that's what my time is. And then you got what your like, this is what percentage I'm going to add on top of that.
Yeah, you got to mark it up to make a profit. Yeah.
Got to mark it up.
I imagine there's probably people out there that put like $150, $200 like Boro setups in their pulses. Like they might want to have something nice.
You find somebody who's got a pulse and they put a bridge from Wicked in there. Bro, that Wicked bridge is worth 2 pulses.
Yeah, so they could just have that on the inside. And then they have
but dude, here's the thing, bro. Yeah. The reason why I did that was because I was able to save money on the device. So I was like, you know what? I've heard a lot of good things.
Spend the money where the money actually counts.
Yeah, and I had the opportunity, thanks to a good friend of mine, to get a chance to try it before I bought it. So I got a chance to try it, fell in love with it. I'm going to pick it up from him because I think it's worth it.
V2 or an V1.2?
The V2.
V2.
It's a banger, dude.
I gave a 1.2 plus to my best friend. I gave a 1.2 plus to my sister out in New Jersey. I have 2 1.2 pluses for my wife, and I have a V2 for myself, and I had an Omega for myself. And I got rid of the Omega, but all the rest I just kept. And I've got my wife was just using this because something was wrong with one of hers. One needed to be rebuilt. The other one had a good coil, but I guess apparently it's got a short in it. So I got to clean, like I said, I got to clean it. But this is the Air V2.
Okay. I've heard of that.
Which the Air came out, I think the original Air came out in 2018. The V2, I like it. I just want to get a different coil. I need a 2.5 millimeter diameter coil on the inside, but a 0.32, 0.34 ohm. So the ones I have come out to a 0.28, 0.29 from Coil Turd. They're his 26 gauge, 2632 wrap or something like that. All my 3 millimeter ones are his 28 gauge 38 wrap. So I'm thinking I need a 28 40 wrap or something. I don't know. I don't make coils, so. But I know if I do a 2.5 millimeter, obviously I love alien coils. That's just my go-to, always has been.
Dude, Breeze Tones makes a perfect coil. That's right around what you're looking at, dude. It's a 0.35, 2.5 millimeter. I think it's a triple 30
Okay,
wrapped
so
in
a 30 is where I would
Dude,
get. Yeah,
and
30 with like 40.
It's nice, dude, in a mech, or if you're rocking it just like restricted direct long, dude, it's
Well,
a
this
banger.
it's not about that. This one just needs to have a 2.5 millimeter coil because of the deck size. So
Yeah,
two
yeah,
and a half, and just I can put a 3 millimeter in there, but like 2.5 is like that sweet spot. Like that's perfect for the deck size. You get the right airflow around it to keep it clean and everything. So that's like the one that I want. But I'm like, the other one just it's like it seems like too hot of a build for what that is.
Yeah,
you know,
maybe not getting enough air through it. It's
Yeah.
a little bit too restricted.
Yeah, so I'm thinking like 2.5 millimeter, but like the higher ohm would be because that's where like everything I use is, like I said, like 0.32 to 0.35, whatever the device reads, because they all read different.
Yeah,
dude.
unless you're on a DNA, like DNA is probably the most accurate you're gonna get. But even then, it's also dependent on leg length.
I got 7 billet boxes, at least 7 billet boxes, bro.
And they're all vary.
They're all vary within like a 0.2, like 0.02 to 0.04.
Yeah, so nothing crazy drastic.
No, nothing crazy. But yeah, they'll all range. But it's all a range that, like, if I get one and I put one in there and then all of a sudden it's reading like a 0.45, and I'm like, no, something's wrong. Like I got a loose leg or something like that. Like something ain't right, So I'll take the whole thing apart and, oh yeah, this came loose because I didn't tighten it enough, and all of a sudden it changes way down. I'm like, okay. I mean, I've been around this game long enough, dude. Like,
sounds like it, man. Starting off with chuff caps, going all the way now to just sticking with your accessories for your billets and your pulses and all the a lot of different other Boro devices.
To me, accessories are fun, man. They really are, dude. Like watching the accessories come to life as you make them, especially out of the resin, because like you get a block. Well, one set of panels, like what I do is I cut a set of panels at a time. So I'll cut one panel, everything on it, saw it off. Cut the matching panel to it, saw it off. Put those aside. Next set, all the way until the block's done, right? Until I can get no more off of it. Every single set looks completely different. Not a single one matches, And so, but then sanding and polish, even once they're, till they're sanded and polished, you're really not seeing like what they are. Like you can go on my website and see all the stuff I have on there and all the different devices I've made stuff for, and go, man, I wonder what that block looked like before he started. And like, some of them I sand and polish on the inside and on the outside, because you got to have that nice crystal clear glass look through it, because it's got that clear.
Yeah, like there. These, I think are like that on both sides.
That's possible.
I know that it's got more of like a kind of a frosted finish on the back, but the front is.
Yeah, then I didn't. That was one where I was like, there wasn't going to be any see-through in it, to where it would, I'm talking ones where it's like crystal clear.
If you got like a super clear resin or something.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. So I do all that kind of stuff, man. It's fun. Like I said, it's fun. It's frustrating at times. It's it's still a hustle. It's always going to be a hustle, but you know what? I think that's part of what makes it fun, is the hustle.
Yeah, dude.
Is trying to, and also becoming friends with the other modders in the industry that do the stuff. Y'all, if you don't look at what they're doing and pay attention to what you're doing, you're never going to progress yourself or try to better yourself or try to one up them, or like, I don't want to do something that matches somebody, but I want to
offer something different. You know what I mean?
All you're doing is you're literally like doing your business like you're trying to soar with the eagles.
And dude, speaking of soaring with eagles, I think it's that time, ladies and gentlemen. Taking it a little bit later than we normally do, but Sean, I think it's that time. No, dude, it's cool. We were just on a roll, bro. When you're on a roll, dude, sometimes you just got to keep it going. So that's what we did. But it's that time, Sean. You know what to do. Tell the people what it's time for.
Well, ladles and jelly spoons, it's time to inhale the good shit, exhale the bullshit, because it's shed time.
Let's do it. And we are back. Hopefully you guys enjoyed your Shed Time break, and hopefully you guys got your vote into the poll, because I feel like you've had long enough, so I'm going to end it now. With that, the official tally, 46% of the vote says they want to see us play one of our fan favorites here on the show. It's time for some Bump It or Dump It. If you guys have watched the show in the past, then you guys kind of know how this goes, but a quick rundown for you, Matt. What we're going to do is we're going to come up with a category, which we've kind of already done behind the scenes, and we're going to let the chat start throwing in some song suggestions that fit within this category, artist and title, because there's a lot of songs that share the same title but are done by different artists. So
Different people, yeah.
Just to clarify, we're going to stick with that, and we're going to pass one around the room. We're going to pick it out, one at a time, and then each one of us here are going to say whether we would bump it, like turn that shit up and just like play it as loud as we can, or we would dump it, like turn that shit down, take that CD out of the CD player, throw it out the window, because that was a thing at one point when
if
music
they come
was
up
trash.
with Miley Cyrus's, Party in the USA, dude, I'm bumping that shit all day long.
So with that being said, guys,
I'm just being real, bro.
we did come up with a category during the Shed Time break, because we kind of already knew what the game was going to be, and today's category is going to be 80s, 90s, hip-hop, and rock. So anything within hip-hop, rap, and rock music within the 80s and 90s era is where the category is going to be. So whenever you guys out there in chat want to start dropping some suggestions, go ahead and start dropping them now, and then we'll go ahead and pick them out.
Hopefully they're old enough to know this.
Oh, there's going to be some good ones out there, man.
Oh, no,
there's going to be some
plenty
good
of
ones.
people
For
that
sure.
are,
there's still, bro,
aged.
80s, 90s rap, dude. It's still, to me, still trumps anything today.
That's mainly all I really listen to. There's very few newer stuff that's on there, and it's all the newer guys I listen to kind of stick with that old school kind of style. Not really listen to a lot of mumble rap. Not listen to. I
can't understand them, dude. Like, if I can't understand you, why
I want to listen to the lyrics. You know what I mean? I want to be able to understand what you're saying.
I can't get behind the sad boy rap. That's the shit that slays me. Where it's like, I'm so sad, I want to die. And you're like, dude, this is not hip hop.
All right, so we'll start off right here. I'll throw out the first one from Ray. He says, Tupac, hit him up.
Oh, bump it or that shit all day, bro.
I figured it would go straight to you, Matt.
It's Tupac, bro. It's Tupac. I'm bumping that shit all day, dude.
All right. What about you, Chris? I'm curious. Are you going to be bumping this Tupac song, or are you going to have to look it up and listen to it real quick?
I'm gonna just quickly. I'm pretty sure I know it.
I'm pretty sure you have, dude.
Yeah. Well, I'll just jump in and say, fuck your bitch in that clique you claim. Yeah, I'm fucking with hit 'em up. You kidding me?
Bro, when as soon as that beat drops, bro, it's like, how can you not just turn it up?
Oh my god!
Obviously,
Tupac's one of the reasons I rapped.
It's like,
for
me and Matt, it's kind of a given. We're both West Coast, bro.
We're West Coast,
it's
bro.
in our blood. You know what I mean? A Tupac song
even though Tupac came from the East Coast, bro.
He did, but he repped the West for.
He repped the West hard, man. It's hard.
But I would bump that. I know that song for sure. I just couldn't remember.
It's hard not to turn up Tupac. You know what I mean? If you're turning him down,
it really is, dude. He had so many hits, dude. Again, we lose some of these guys way too early, dude.
For sure.
Hell
man.
yeah.
It'd be crazy what the rap game would be like if he was still a part of it.
Oh, dude, him and Biggie.
Dude, imagine if they just came together and did like dude. Wow. That would have been insane.
Mind blowing, dude. Mind blowing.
Well, you got the run-in track that they did where they put them in there like humorously, however you're supposed to pronounce that.
Humorously?
And those two fucking verses, just one from each of them, go hard as hell.
They were on
a different level.
Whether you liked what they stood for or not, dude, it was like they went hard, dude. Like their shit it slays, dude. Still to this day. That's what I'm saying. It's like two of the best genres for music in that era. It is what it is.
There's so much good stuff at that time. What about you, Sean? Go ahead and pick one out, dude.
Well, then I'm gonna have to keep it West Coast here. Who said it? It was oh god, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it quickly, but it was Ice Cube, 6 a.m.
Oh,
you mean Ice-T?
Yeah, Ice-T. Sorry.
Ice-T 6 in the Dude, I haven't listened to Ice-T.
I haven't listened to Ice-T in so long, but
6
like
in the morning, police at my door. Homicidal Mike, that's who dropped it.
just because of his voice, I would say bump it, dude, because you know that shit was hit.
Dude, there was
that was, but he was before you, James. Like
no, but here's the thing, dude. A lot of the stuff I listen to is from before my time.
No, but he was still, he had again. He's one of those guys that had that that voice, and it set the tone for the way that his music came out and the way it hit and the way the lyrics hit, and I say bump it, dude.
What about you, Sean?
Oh, I mean,
this one.
I can literally hear the beat playing in my head right now. The weird little beeping fucking synth sound that's in there, and I guess it's 6 in the morning, police at my door. Bump, stop it, dude. That's that old school.
Dude.
That's that
OG.
Early.
Yeah,
too, bro.
That's your NWA era hip hop.
Raiders
that is the roots of hip hop.
Right. Well, that's the roots of West Coast. That's the roots of West Coast hip hop.
Well, you're right. I mean, if we want to talk roots of actual hip hop, then we're actually going into funk with things like Sugar Hill Gang and everything like that. But yeah, as far as gangster rap, that's the roots right there.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Dude, it's hard not to those early that early time of hip hop, bro. There's just so many people. They were hungry. And you could hear
and there was
it,
nothing. There was nothing out there like them.
Yeah,
like
there's
NWA,
nobody
like
telling
you're saying,
stories like they were telling. You know what I mean?
Man,
So
they were rapping about what they were living.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to bump it, bro. I'm gonna have to. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of songs on here that I'm probably gonna bump for a majority of it because this is a lot of shit that's on my playlists. But yeah,
I've
dude,
seen a lot of bangers.
I'm probably gonna have to throw this one on there though because I haven't heard any Ice-T in a long time.
What about you?
I just watched.
Yeah, dude, I bump it. I had to listen to it. I don't really know the song that well, but I can get down with it, dude. It's the actual fucking track is kind of cheesy, but it's you have to think about when it was made.
Yeah,
and it just takes you to that vibe. So when you guys started talking about you're mentioning other bands that it was from that time, it makes it fun. It's not bad at all. It's just that cheesy kind of 80s fucking
classic late 80s.
It's classic
hip hop sound.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, why don't you pick one out?
All right. I feel like I want to pick one out that nobody's gonna like, but I'm just taking people's suggestions. So they're not even mine. They're just somebody's suggestion. So I'm going to go with one from Addy Tooney, and it is "When Doves Cry" by Prince.
Bro, it's Prince, dude. I mean, I wouldn't say that was one of his bangers. It's definitely a very popular one. Oh,
this one's a tough one, bro.
It's Prince though. It's Prince though, dude.
I know. You say that, and that's kind of why I'm leaning towards bump it. But at the same time, it's also you also said it is one of the ones that's played a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's in I don't know how many fucking movies or TV shows or whatever. Yeah. And it's just there's so many better Prince songs than that one.
There is.
But right now that all of you have that do running through your head right now.
I was trying to ignore it, Sean. Thank you. But
I'm already going.
Doves cry.
So I think it's unanimous. Everybody is turning it up just because,
dude,
all right, Sean. Fuck. All right.
But I get what he's saying though. There are
there's so many other better ones.
Here's the thing though.
I agree.
Hold up. This is the thing. Just because somebody has better songs doesn't mean it's not a banger, and you don't want to turn it up.
I know.
You still turn it up.
That song.
Even if you had your windows up in your car, you'd crank that shit and be singing along with that shit. Even though,
windows up, windows down.
Dude, here's the thing, bro. This is what I've come to realize when with playing this game. If I get earwigged, just by the name of the title, like you say it, and then all of a sudden the song's playing in my head.
You got to bump it, dude.
I feel like that self-consciously tells you you're bumping this song if it comes on.
Yeah.
Unless you hear the name and you start singing it like stupid or like off key because you know you kind of hate it and you're just like, oh, this fucking like that. So it's like it's one of those, and this is one of those ones where it's like I don't turn it on and sing it stupid. Like if it comes on, like I'm actually gonna give it a chance. So yeah. All right.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna outwardly put that one on, but if I'm listening to the radio and it comes on, it's
if
getting turned
Spotify
up.
recommends it, I'm not gonna be mad at
dude,
Spotify.
Sure. Yeah,
all right,
dude.
Are we all in agreement? Are we all in agreement on this one?
Agreed on that. Yep.
Yeah,
okay.
dude. I'm
we can agree.
All right, Matt. I don't know if you could see chat, but if not, you can just throw one off the top of your head if you have one in mind.
I mean, I can throw one off the top of my head that like if you don't bump it, dude, I'm not even sure we can talk anymore.
Dude. Let's do it. Let's do it. I love these.
It's honestly the best bar song ever in the world.
Okay, I need to hear it.
And it's by Journey.
Oh.
And it's Don't Stop Believing.
Okay, here's the thing, bro.
I'm sorry, everybody. You could be at a bar. Everybody starts singing that shit when it comes on. Dude.
I grew up in a Journey household, bro.
Oh, did you really?
My mom, big Journey fan. Big Journey fan, big Queen fan, Aerosmith.
Queen's one of my favorite, bro.
Like all that shit, dude. So, yeah, it doesn't really matter what Journey song it is.
But I'm just saying that one specifically, it's
one of those. It's also one of those ones, kind of like I was saying with the Dubs Cry, where it's like it's almost kind of cringe to me at this point, dude, because it is the one that you walk in to every bar and it plays, and everybody who's real fucked up just gets into it, which is cool. But I'm also at the point now where I don't get as fucked up.
They call it the number one. It's the number one bar song.
Oh,
in America.
Is 1000%, dude.
You could be in a bar and it's almost guaranteed if you're at that bar long enough, you're probably going to hear that song played.
Honestly, it automatically just gets a pass because it's Journey, but like it also is kind of one of those ones where it's like I can give it or take it
you
sometimes.
Can give or take, yeah.
But majority of the time, it's probably just gonna I'm gonna let it go.
Yeah. What about you two?
I think that honestly, I'm gonna dump it, and the only reason why is because I've literally heard it a fucking jillion times.
Same here.
I don't even want to really hear it. Like, if I hear it, will I like throw up? No. But like, if I was flipping through channels, like that's gonna be the next. I'm gonna let scan keep rolling. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. Like, whenever I think about that particular song, I'm instantly reminded of that old bit from Family Guy where like they're singing the song in a karaoke bar, and they cut outside to somebody. They're carrying a casket out of a funeral, and this woman goes, oh, wait, is that Journey? And everybody just drops the fucking casket on the stairs and runs to the bar because Journey's playing.
It's so realistic, dude. It is 100% true.
And that's the thing, right? Is that like I'm not necessarily a Journey fan, but if that song comes on, I'm bumping it.
Yeah, I'm not by any means a Journey fan myself either, but like that song from Journey, like
my wife and I will literally just look at each other and be like, just a small town girl. Like
it's catchy, bro.
It is one of those songs. Like, love it or hate it, you're probably still gonna enjoy the shit out of it.
You're probably still gonna sing it.
Yeah, whether you know Journey or not, you know that song.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you definitely know it.
But that's the thing about that song is the generations of age gaps that.
It transcends generations for sure, bro.
It really does, dude. I mean, here, me in my 40s, I got friends in their 50s. I know people in their 20s, in their 30s. You know, they all know that song. It's but that band wasn't really big after the 80s.
Addy Tooney says, I'm imagining, and this is the scenario he's talking about, I walk into the bar and it's playing, and he says, Frames reluctantly sings it in a low voice. Like, I just walk in like, fuck. Just
it's like under your breath almost, or like,
just a small town girl.
No, everybody sings all the one part really low because they're not sure they know the actual words. Like
Yeah.
I do because I'm hurt. But then it's
as soon as it gets to the chorus, everybody gets full confidence, full projection.
Full
No,
send.
and nothing like the drunk girl whose voice is cracking on the high notes, but she's still giving
She's
it.
still giving
Still
it. She,
rocking it,
as
dude.
my boy Ashton says, giving her the berries, just like
Yes,
Still
sir.
letting her
rocking it,
rip.
dude.
All right, let's see. Let's pick out another one here. Let's see. There's a lot of fucking juicy. Oh my god, I'm picking this one because this song I haven't heard in 20 years.
Oh,
I don't
wow.
think, but it totally fits this genre and it's going to be hilarious. All right, from Mallory Gates, shout outs to you. Uncle Cracker, Drift Away.
Dumping it. Dumping it, dude.
Nice. I like it.
I almost wanted to put a poll up on see who was gonna answer first.
Dumping it.
Oh, dude, I remember there was a point in time where this song was the number one summer vacation song that you heard on every boat at the lake.
Yep.
I used to go to Havasu every summer, and
You open the garage for me then?
this would definitely be one of those songs that would be playing. And of course, when I was a kid, I loved Uncle Cracker, bro. I thought he was cool, man. This song was now, dude. Oh, I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could do it. I would probably be like, all right, I'd listen to I don't know, 30 seconds and be like, okay, that was for nostalgia's sake. Next.
Yeah, I'm over it.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you guys? Chris, Sean?
I'm gonna dump it. I wouldn't want to listen to the whole thing. If I had to, I could, but I wouldn't want to. So that pretty much is like a stamp of dump it.
Yeah, that's definitely a dump it from you. And I would prefer if Uncle Cracker had never entered the music business. Period. He could have stayed a fucking roadie and everything would have been fine. We didn't need his garbage ass
Dude,
pretend music.
Remember that was
Mickey
Uncle
Mouse
Cracker.
fucking music. Ugh.
That was Kid Rock days.
Well, that was if I remember correctly, he worked on Kid Rock's crew, and that
I
was
think
kind of how he
so.
got himself into the
He might
industry.
he might have.
That
They
could
both came
definitely
out
be a
around the same
possibility.
time.
And I want to say that if he had just stayed a fucking roadie for Kid Rock, everything would have been fine, and maybe Kid Rock wouldn't have gone crazy and would have stayed actually
Dude,
kind of a
Kid
decent
Rock
artist.
built a house that's a replica of the White House.
I believe it because he
Really?
went fucking nuts.
Yeah.
He has a triple wide that he camoed out, and that's the party house on his property.
He's
That's the house you party in.
yeah. He
he
just went
built
so off the deep end.
He built
It's wild.
a replica of the White House, and that's what he lives in.
That's fucking awesome, though.
For real, dude. That's shout outs to you, bro.
Yeah, right?
Sean, go ahead, bro. Your pick, man.
Oh man, there are so many crazy good songs you guys have thrown out. So much,
Dude, and it's from
excellence out
all
here.
sides too.
It is.
It's not
it
just
is, and
hip
I'm
hop.
loving
It's
it.
not just rock. It's a good mix of both.
And I'm gonna have to go with a rock one this time. And this one's from Drip Theory, and it's
Ooh.
Pearl Jam's Even Flow.
Ooh, Pearl Jam, dude.
And
Man.
I'll dive
I'm a-
right in and just say the 10, dude. When I was a very impressionable, just starting to understand what music I liked kid when 10 was new.
Yeah,
And that whole fucking album is still
that
one
was
of my
one of
favorite
their
albums
best.
to
That
this
was one of their
day.
best albums, dude.
So I will crank Even Flow.
Yeah, man, I don't know.
Dude, so I would bump it. It's not one of my favorite songs, but I feel you on that, Sean, because that album was one of
Yeah.
the very first compact discs that I ever had. I was 11 years old when that album
Dude, he
came
didn't
out.
even say CD, guys. He went full compact.
Yeah,
I can't even
dude,
say it, dude.
Compact disc.
It's
baby.
too many words. I can't even
And
say
yeah,
it.
dude. So I was 11 years old when that came out because that came out in 1991, and I remember getting
Wow.
it and all
I
my
was just
friends
being
made fun of
born.
me, bro. Well, dude, all my friends, for some reason, I was the first one that wanted to get into music. And when I was 11, for that Christmas, I got a portable CD player for Christmas, and then I got 3 CDs. I got Eric Clapton Unplugged. I
Oh,
got Pearl Jam 10, and I got STP Core.
Bro,
dude,
solid.
That was what I got when I was 11
Solid.
years old, bro.
Yeah,
That's
that's like an
very
early '90s
solid.
quintessential
Yeah, it's a
starter
starter
pack
pack,
right
dude, like,
there.
all my friends, bro, straight up, they just fucking would
Yeah,
just
drip-
talk smack to me about it. They'd be like, "Yo, why wouldn't you get a Genesis game, bro?" It's like, because I want to fucking.
Because
How do you
music
know
is
that?
life, dude. All right.
Yeah.
You
I
know
knew
what
that
I
I
mean?
can
my
listen
young
to
age.
this while I play Genesis, bro.
Yeah. Dude,
I'll
I
just
can
play my
listen to this and do
Nintendo.
other things. I can only play Genesis, and that's it. Yeah.
Genesis, wow.
Bro, Dreamcast.
Dreamcast. I remember the Dreamcast, the biggest flop they
Remember
ever
Sega
made.
Saturn?
I'm gonna have to
No,
agree
dude,
though.
Sega
Like,
Saturn or Sega 3D, those were probably bigger.
Oh
flops.
God,
I
yeah.
don't really think there's many songs from Pearl Jam that I'll maybe some of like the later stuff, but even then, like Pearl
I
Jam's
think
Pearl
that I'd
Jam,
probably
dude.
like I would probably dump Daughter at this point because like for me it's just played the fuck out. But like everything else, I'd say that
Dude,
would
I don't
probably
think yeah,
fuck it.
I don't think there's many Pearl Jam songs that are gonna come on and I'm immediately gonna reach for a skip. You know?
Yeah, no,
maybe the Lead Belly album for me.
What years were the like what
That was
kind
like
of
that was like
years?
that was that weird blues album they did.
Oh,
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
that was late 90s.
like with like Where
So,
Oh
like, the
Where
first
Has My
two
Baby
main
Been?
albums, like
that one, I'm
10,
not.
Yeah,
so
their
into.
first.
and
I
Verses.
Yeah,
like
those
10 and
two
Verses.
albums, definitely.
10. I mean,
definitely
10,
played the
dude.
fuck
I
out of
mean,
those.
I saw him in concert at Lollapalooza in like 93, 94. You know, with hell of bands, and like
Yeah, that would have been
just
probably
like,
an epic lineup.
oh, bro, it was all the 90s grunge rock guys you could think of in one spot. It started at 10 and went till 11 o'clock at night. Like we were there all day. I mean, name a 90s rock band that you could think of, and they were there. Beastie Boys were there. No, they're not even rock, bro.
Hey,
You know,
I don't care, bro. You could put any fucking Beastie Boys song on.
I mean,
I
I'm just gonna
don't
say
give
the
a
Beastie
fuck.
Boys are
Beastie
played on
Boys.
classic rock radio
Dude,
now,
right?
which
Yeah.
is so bizarre to me.
Isn't it?
Oh, for
honestly,
sure, though.
I'd probably it's Pearl Jam, and it's early Pearl Jam off 10. I'd probably bump it too. Like in all honesty, I probably would. I'm not going to deny it.
So I feel like we're all on agreement on that pretty much too. So Chris, pick another one out, dude.
Okay, I saw one. Where did that one go? Man, it was one by Mallory too. Where was that?
She's dropping some gems, dude.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
Yeah, she's always got some heat.
Oh, here. No. Here we are. So this one's from Mallory Gates, and it's Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Relax.
Why
He's
is
trying to be the
Dude.
troublemaker, huh?
Why is that not ringing a bell to me?
Relax.
Or it's
don't
relax.
do it
Oh.
Do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
when you want to go through it.
Relax.
Don't do it
It's
when you
wanna
want to come.
I'm like me personally, I'm dumping it. Like I'm fucking so over that shit, dude.
Remember those
All that-
shirts? The
all
Frankie
that-
says relax shirt.
All that
Yes.
song reminds me of is fucking Zoolander.
Oh my god.
All that movie, it just reminds me of Zoolander, dude. Because that was the trigger song.
Oh.
Oh,
That's right. That's right.
That was the trigger song to kill the prime minister of Malaysia.
I might have to pass on this one too, man, because it's like it was one of those ones that when I first read, it didn't pop immediately into my head.
No.
So it's like as soon as you said it, I was like, oh yeah, okay, I know this one. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
it's not one of those, it's not necessarily a jam, as they would say.
No.
You know. What about you, Sean? What do you think?
Hell no, I'm jumping it. Oh God, like
Dude, if you would have said, "Oh hell yeah, I'm bumping this," I'd have been like, "Sean,
What?
what's going on, bro?"
I mean, what's
I might
next?
need to get in on your shed time with
Yeah.
that.
That's up there with like Right Said Fred and I'm Too Sexy. Like just
Oh,
no.
Oh
No.
God,
No.
Thank no.
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 Nothing.
Big
No.
N, big O,
Yeah.
No. Hard stop, you know. So go ahead, close that out there, Uncle Chris. I'm hoping that you're not a huge fan of the song.
Okay, so
He's like, well, I
I
was
would-
until I heard you guys talk, and
He's like, I like
now-
to feel sexy every once in a while.
So I would actually dump both those songs. Like I would dump Relax. I would also dump I'm Too Sexy for sure.
Oh,
But
100%.
now if I'm like at like a wedding, like I probably would enjoy it because I'd probably be like pretty lubricated and
Well, yeah, of course.
I'm just like dancing or something, then I'd probably be okay.
You let
with
a
it, but,
lot
like,
of things fly at, you know, like weddings, or
weddings,
like
yeah,
stuff
you-
like
Well,
that. 'Cause
and that's
a
a
lot of times you
situation
don't have
where
a
you're being
choice in what the
forced.
DJ is
Yeah,
playing.
like-
So it's just like you make the best of what's there, you know?
The DJ's
Yeah.
playing his top 100 wedding playlist. That's all.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to just give in, you know what I mean?
Grandma's
Yeah.
got
No,
to
that's-
dance
that's
too.
true.
You know.
I got one
That's
that
true.
I'm not sure many of you might not know.
Dude, drop it on us, bro.
Bedtime Stories by Slick Rick.
Oh,
Fuck yeah, bedtime stories by Slick Rick.
Bro.
Stop it! I'm not gonna know that. Dude, all right, Matt. I'm gonna grant you a pass that you don't notice about me, but I fucking opened for Onyx on 3 consecutive occasions,
wow.
man. Like
Nice.
I am hip hop
Okay.
through and through, bro.
yeah. Dude, Bedtime Stories by Slick Rick is still
anything by Slick Rick, bro.
He's the fucking master for a reason.
yeah, but that like I remember I was at the convention at Mohegan Sun and the Nolly Boys were there. And someone was bumping that song. I sang the whole fucking song, right? 'Cause it's just dope.
Dude,
And I'm sitting there singing, and they're looking at me like, "What song is this?" And I was like, "Bro, I'm not even sure we can be friends anymore." It's like,
Dude.
I'm just like, what?
anything by Slick Rick, bro. It's you
That
can't.
is like that is my all-time favorite by Slick Rick, though, dude. That just
Absolutely,
Uncle Ricky,
dude. And then
Can you tell me a bedtime
and then you gotta love when Snoop did his version of Lottie Dottie on
Yeah,
the
Lottie
Doggy
Dottie,
Style,
we
bro,
likes to
and it
potty.
did his little spin on it. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
I was like, dude, that's respect. Because, like, you could obviously tell he didn't do that just to copy him. He's like, bro, no. He's like, this flow's so sick that I just need to fucking do my little thing on it.
Hell
Because,
yeah, dude.
like,
But see, that was back when, like, those eras. That's back when musicians had respect for other musicians.
yeah,
Like they had the
Yep.
respect.
He
They
was
they,
paying
they threw
homage.
the respect. They paid homage and they threw the respect in what they were doing. And you know, nowadays they sample shit and they don't give the respect to them. You know, like I've heard some stuff that's come out on the radio. Like Lizzo's done one, and a couple other women they've done some songs where I'm like, okay, that beat's old as fuck, but
Mhm.
damn, y'all changed that shit around. Like,
yeah.
wow, that's just good. Like, holy crap!
Like, I think Doja Cat just did one
Doja Cat,
of
that's the one I'm thinking of.
Jailhouse Rock or something like that.
I
Or
forget
no,
what hers
ain't
is,
nothing
but
but a hound dog. That's what it is. She like sampled
yeah,
it.
Ain't nothing, but man, she
I was like,
she made
it
she
was
took
kinda
that
cool.
beat, but see, that was actually when that actually when Elvis Presley did it, it was actually made. That was
Dude,
two
it's done like
generations
3
before
times
him.
before that. Yeah.
No, twice. It was done twice before him, and it started with I don't know what you would call her, a blues singer, back in like the fucking
Yeah, like
30s or
jazz
something.
blues.
Yeah,
But
it's
here's,
back
but
in,
here's
like,
the
the
thing,
30s,
like in
40s.
Doja Cat's case, it's really you're giving the producer the love because he did most of the work. She's just the
Yeah.
vocalist on the track, right?
Yeah.
Like to cut that sample and make that
Dude,
track the
there's
way
some-
it sounds like that's a producer.
But the-
That's some
but the-
dude like
but the-
part of
Alchemist
the-
sitting in his fucking basement, chain smoking cigarettes in the
Dude,
dark. Like
part of the thing that I've been finding myself doing is getting down like these scroll rabbit holes where I'm watching a bunch of these different producers, like just mashing up all kinds of different shit together, like songs that you would have never thought would go together, but the way like just because they're within the same tempo, same key, and that sort of
Mhm.
thing,
Yeah.
they're able to just like fucking blend and like, dude, this is fucking crazy, dude.
the way some people can flip samples, like there's a YouTuber I watch is a phenomenal producer, and the music that this kid makes, like he does a series called 4 Producers, 1 Sample, and he'll literally get 3 other producers and himself to all use the same sample and make a track out of it. And like somebody will make like this lo-fi track while somebody else makes like a dubstep while someone's doing
Like a
electronica.
house or trap or something.
Yeah,
Right.
and it's all literally being made off the same one sample. So they're like, in some of these people's cases, they're literally taking like maybe a vocal sample of just vocals and chopping it to create all their synths, all their drums, all their cymbals. Like the shit people can do with sampling these days is insane.
It's nuts, dude.
Oh yeah,
it's like, dude, it's like back in the day, like Daft Punk, bro, was doing crazy shit because you can't count the amount of samples they put into one song, dude.
Daft Punk, dude,
because they were blending like three or four different songs into one, and like
Daft
using different parts.
Daft Punk is one of my all-time favorite, and like I can't even sit here and say like I know like favorite song from Daft Punk around the world. Like still to this day is one of my absolute favorite songs from Daft Punk. But like I could sit and listen to Daft Punk all day long, dude.
Yeah.
Anything, just let it play, dude. Just keep it going, dude. I absolutely one of my favorite duos. But they were more like a DJ duo. Is kind of what they were. Is like would you call it a producer duo or?
Well, I mean, as a DJ, you're still a producer.
Yeah, you're producing. You're just keeping it for yourself and just playing the beats instead of giving them
just
to
now
people
today's production is so more
like
diversified. That's
another old school one. Paul Oakenfold. That's another one of my old
Paul Oakenfold, man. Game Master, stop it.
Oh, dude, he's legit, bro. Like he's been around forever.
The Transport record literally broke the trance fucking genre wide open for people.
Oh, he's great, man. He just dude.
All right, well, let's do one last quick one to wrap this thing up. Just because we're having fun.
Chris,
Chris
answered that
last one. My
bad,
dude.
Yeah, I would bump
Slick Rick.
I would bump it. Yeah, for
Hell
sure.
yeah,
sure.
fuck yeah, Slick Rick.
Yeah.
And one last one just to round it out, just because I think we need one more. And let's see. I saw a really good one here, and then it went away from me. I think it was from Mallory too. So let me look for Mallory's name and just scroll through.
Just coming up with the heaters tonight.
Dude, she drops gems every time we do. Fountains of Wayne, Stacy's mom. That's kind of like later 90s.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no,
2000s.
But it's still good. It's
yeah. I'm gonna dump that. Not a fan. Not a fan.
No way you did.
It's one of those songs where like I make fun of it. Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Not for me.
All right. What do you say, Chris?
I mean, I got the song going in my head, and I'm just like, yeah.
I'm gonna say that I would definitely dump it personally. Like, is there worse songs out there? Yeah.
Oh, of course there is.
Admit that there is, but I sure should be skipping them too. So I'm fucking dumping it.
Oh, dude! Fun fact about this song is my high school marching band played this song.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
we played a lot of. We also played like all the small things.
Where's that video for the next
for real,
show?
dude? Also played all the small things by Blink-182. Hey Yeah by Outkast.
That was
geez,
cool.
dude.
That one was cool because we had like a dance routine for it too. So like midway through the song, the drum line would just like do their thing, and then the band would like drop their instruments and do like this whole fucking thing. It was crazy,
nice,
dude.
You know what? That's why you and Evan got along so well, because he did band too.
Hey man, musicians, we just kind of are drawn together, bro.
He did traveling bands. Like he traveled to like Japan and
shit. Yeah, he was definitely probably better than I was, dude. I just did it in high school, and I was good enough to do that. And then
he did it in high school too, and then he did it outside of high school. He did like traveling band stuff,
dude. That's
everything.
Sick. Yeah. I wanted to do it at some point, and then obviously I got into like a bunch of other things as I got older, and then by junior year I was done with it.
That's how I saw Evan with a shaved head for the first time.
Dude, that guy's he had to
cut his hair to for one of the band things that we're going to. He had to cut his hair.
Damn.
So he shows up at the vape shop like we didn't know he was. This was before I was like really like good friends with him and everything. And he shows up at the vape shop one day and like no hair. We were like,
whoa.
Like, where's my cotton ball? Like, what?
Yeah,
I call him Jew-fro.
He's got the legit fro going, dude.
Oh, it's huge.
It's crazy.
Dude. I don't even know how he puts it in a hat. Like, I still haven't figured that one out, dude. But I was just like,
condenses down, bro. Somehow it's like a sponge.
Somehow it takes him an hour to fucking wash the damn thing.
I could imagine, dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to dump Stacy's mom, bro.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna have to just bump it just because of like nostalgia purposes for me, and it's one of those ones where it's like I also do like the comedy factor of it.
Yeah,
like that's one of the ones.
I don't know. I still got it.
And it just brings back good memories of playing it in high school. You know what I mean?
There
Like
you go.
as like in a marching band, it's a totally different thing. You know what I mean?
All
Because
right,
then it's just like all crowd participation at that point because they singing it while you're playing it.
I got one Christmas song. I got one Christmas song. One.
All right.
That you got to be honest. Because I know y'all fucking bump this shit at least once during Christmas, and you're like, I'm fucking over it, dude. Mariah Carey.
Oh, dude,
You
no.
know
I'm dumping that.
Dumping it.
I
Dumping
can't
that all
stand
day.
Mariah, bro.
Dumping it.
Can't do it.
Everything to do with Mariah Carey.
can't
I'm
do it,
not a
bro.
fan of.
I only do anti-Christmas songs that are like against Christmas. Like Blink-182's "I Won't Be Home for Christmas."
I won't be home for Christmas.
or Twisted from the Psychopathic Records era. They had a song called "A Very Twisted Christmas."
Okay.
Where it was basically them doing a remake of Gin and Juice, sitting around the tree drinking eggnog.
Oh, nice.
On Christmas gifts. So like, I'll do anti-Christmas. I'll even do like Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. But yeah, like actual factual Christmas carols.
I'm not gonna lie. I at least bumped that once, just once.
Just
After that, I'm
all right,
like,
and we're done.
Just then you're like, I don't need to hear it because you know every store,
Every
walk
store,
into,
every radio station,
everybody,
every
plays it,
commercial.
And that's
Yep.
the thing. I know I'm going to hear it in a store somewhere in my life. I definitely don't need to ever
Yeah,
listen to
I
it
don't need to add
otherwise.
it
If
on.
I'm-
Yeah.
No, I'm
Have
just saying.
control over
I'm
that?
just saying,
Fuck
if
that.
it came on, I'm not gonna sit there and search for it and put
Oh.
that shit on. I'm just
Yeah.
saying,
Oh no!
if it comes
If
on,
my radio will not ever play that. Thank you.
he's on my radio might just short circuit.
Yeah,
it.
he's like, it'll be dead after that. But all right, dude, that was a good round, dude. We had some solid suggestions, solid
Definitely.
choices from you there, Matt, dude, and a great conversation, bro. So I just want to thank you for coming and joining us on the show. It's been long
thanks for having me,
awaited,
guys.
and we'll
appreciate it.
definitely have you back on in the future, and we'll be able to talk about maybe some new things you got going on, or just bullshit
I
and just
shoot
hang
the
out,
shit, man.
Yeah.
I just shoot the shit and hang out, dude. Like I said, Friday nights, Saturday nights. This is what I do.
Hell yeah, dude.
I just chill, dude. Like shit. I didn't even used to come home on Friday nights. I'd go from work straight to my boy's vape shop. My friend's like, I'd be in my work clothes, or I might bring like a shirt to change into so I didn't smell like the shop too bad. And, my wife might show up there to like, bring me some dinner, or like, hey, babe, we're going to go do this or something like that. And like, oh, you're in trouble. And I'm like, oh, she knows I'm here. She hasn't called me once since I've been here. She knows where I'm at. Like,
I go to the shop, I go to my shop, and I come to this shop.
Yeah,
I go home.
It was my best friend's shop, dude.
Yeah.
It was where, blow off some steam, hang with the, the customers that come in and stuff. And
Better there than the bar, right?
I'd go to the bar right after.
Okay.
I'd go from
Start-
my business to one friend's business to another friend's business.
Oh well, hey, keeping it within the friend circle, so that's cool then.
So it was that was like my Friday nights. Then COVID hit. And
Yeah, dude, it stopped a
Put a
lot of
stop.
things for everybody, man.
yeah, it really did, dude. But it is what it is. We're all still doing our thing,
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
man, got to keep surviving, keep persevering. You know what I mean?
I wish there was, another Connecticut show, and we're kind of, like I said, we're kind of making like our own little Connecticut show. Not really a show, but like if y'all are more than welcome to come out. If my boy's doing, really good prices for hotel rooms at his hotel. It's like $79 a night for like a $300 a night hotel room.
Shit, that ain't
Like
bad.
he's set us up, like all meals are on him, like at the hotel, like the cooks will just do it up for us and everything. So it's
Hell
gonna
yeah,
be a
dude.
good fun time, man. It's
I
gonna
feel
be a
like
really
that's
good
kind
time.
of going to be the way of vape events. I don't think they're necessarily going to be like conventions as much as they are just like groups of fucking
Hangouts.
communities
Meetups.
just getting together and
Yeah,
hanging out.
meetups.
You know what I mean?
But like, that's the thing. Like, there's going to be modders there too. Like our modders, we're going to bring our stuff with us. If somebody
Yeah, I
wants
feel
to
like
buy
that's kind of
something,
how it's going to be, though. It's not necessarily going to be put on by an event coordinator or something like that. It's just going to be like some people being like, hey, let's get
well, like
together.
the board, like the board
Yeah, like,
bowl,
it's
like
those sorts of situations,
Bowl,
getting together
yeah.
at like a local shop or
Yep.
somewhere close for a majority of people to kind of get to and just hang out. If you got
well,
some
it's like
stuff to sell.
Vape Haven did the one. They just did the
yeah,
one.
they just did one
last
recently,
weekend.
right? With like the
Just
Astro
last
drop.
weekend. Yeah, they had the Astros there. Like pretty much, if you wanted to buy an Astro, you could get one.
Yeah.
Like walk in, pay retail, and then anybody, if you had other Boro devices that people had accessories for, they had other guys there. I wasn't able to make it just because it was kind of last minute. Like I had heard about it last minute. The Boro Bowl was like 5 months out,
And you know what? I think that could be a lot. I think that could be pretty cool if we kind of do that thing, because it's going to be like more community based. You know what I mean? Supporting smaller businesses, and I feel like it's going to be more community oriented and not so much business oriented. Not so much trying to push
stuff. Went over to that counterculture. I guess
yeah,
is what
they're
they
doing
call
like
it.
CBD and all kinds of other different stuff now,
Oh yeah,
it seems like.
yeah.
But with that, guys,
Yep.
definitely stay tuned for a future episode with Mr. Matt Bennett here. Of course, you guys can go check him out. Google everything BT Customs. It'll show you his Instagram, his website, all that stuff. Go check him out if you guys are looking for some, custom accessories for your billets, your pulses, and a bunch of other different stuff.
A bunch.
And
there's a bunch of them on there.
And he's always doing new stuff, guys. Like just when I thought, like, man, dude, it came out with something new, and then you just come out with these slant panels. Who knows what's going to be next, guys? So
you have to. You have to.
So with that, I'm going to throw it over to the boys to let them do their normal sign outs and stuff like that. So Chris, what you got, man?
All right, well, I'll be just short and quick. So if you guys want, you can check me out on Tuesday nights. I'm mixing it up on KVTV's YouTube channel. Feel free to come by and check that out. Of course, you can check out Shed Time Podcast, shedtimepodcast.com. Just go check it out. And then for myself, yeah, if you want, you can just check out my stuff just by Googling my name, and you'll find it online. And if you do, use coupon code SHEDTIME, and I'll get you all sorted out. And I think that the only other thing I'd like to say is thank you very much for coming on. Appreciate it. I liked hearing your stories, man. I liked hearing your come up in the game, and just your come up in your career. It was interesting for sure. And I've seen some of your work, and you do really, really good work. So
thank you. I appreciate. I do. I really appreciate that, man.
Yeah. So
it was my pleasure.
And everybody be safe. Have a good week. And Sean, take it away.
Well, I too will keep it quick. I know we've got a lot of great people out there in the chat, so thank you guys. Big shout out to all the people who catch us on the replay. Nothing but love to y'all, and of course, big love to Matt Bennett, because I've been a big lover of my Squarius since I've had it, and again, the work is phenomenal. It speaks for itself. Guys, go check him out. Grab a drip tip. Do something. Support the homie. Just anybody who's about the cause and the community like that deserves your support and love. So we all stand by it. You go check them out. And other than that, you can check us every week on the Shed Time podcast and back here on the Green Room. So don't let the best get you down. Be cool. Don't be a dick. And whatever it is that you do, try to have some fun.
Absolutely. And it is that time for my segment of the episode. A little wise words of wisdom, some food for thought for all of you guys over the weekend. It's time for some Confucius Say. And this week, my main man Confucius hit me up, and he's got a gem for you guys. Today, Confucius Say, man who do business in whorehouse gets jerked around.
Ah, yes.
Say.
It's fact, dude. It's fact. It is
fact.
It is fact. So shout out to Confucius for that little words of wisdom for you guys for this weekend. Of course, stay tuned for future episodes. Reminder, no episode next Friday. Chris and I will be out in Vegas partying it up. Woot woot.
Yeah.
Woot woot.
Yeah, woot woot. It's gonna be a fun time. I'm looking forward to it. Gonna meet up with good old Swags and have a good old time. So no show next Friday, guys, but we will be back the following Friday for another episode. Well, yeah, we should be back next Friday for another episode for you guys after that. And then, of course, Shed Time Podcast, if you guys want to, catch up on that and, maybe double up on an episode, listen to one you haven't listened to on Friday, and then, catch the new one on Monday, whatever. You can go check it out. Google Shed Time Podcast. It's on all of your podcasting platforms, all that good stuff. And I will say I'm going to try to get some videos out. I was under the weather the past week or so I wasn't really feeling it, and wasn't really able to get anything done, but I know I keep saying it, and I'll continue to say it until it actually happens. Some videos will be coming. Other than that, I think we're going to go ahead and end this episode. Stay tuned for the next one. Going to end it as I always do, sending out all of those positive vibes. crisp high fives, and as always, let's just vape on, Shedheads.
As I just took mine apart.
See, I'm